Hello and welcome to the Destiny Community Podcast, episode number 88. We have a great show this week because, well, there's not a whole lot to talk about in Destiny, obviously, not a whole lot. But
nope.
Holtzman is he's a senior judge in the Greater Seattle Slapback tournament. So we're very excited to see the results of that due to his experience from all the slapbacks in his childhood. So. On birthdays.
Especially on his birthday. Yeah. He got lots of slapbacks on his birthday. He actually used to lie about how old he was to get more slapbacks.
For extra slapback? So. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so he's very experienced.
That sounds like a refined professional.
Qualified
Competition's
judge,
in a good hand.
We're excited that he's back from the Antarctic.
Oh, and, no, he was spelunking in the Carlsbad Caverns naked.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct. That's correct.
So if you don't see him on the podcast this week, he's doing the Lord's work, judging the slapback.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, hopefully we like to have him back on the podcast soon. But there's important work that needs to get done.
He's discovering himself. You know, you can't rush that.
No, it's a kind of a wanderlust, if you will. You know,
discovery is very important.
He's in the dream city, you could say.
Dreaming city, yes. Yes.
Yeah, dreaming. He's dreaming.
More on that later.
Yeah.
But for now. For now, let's say hello to our guest, Ekuegan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. I was excited. I've been excited to have you on. I met you for the first time at the summit, and found that your feedback and your contributions at the summit were very well thought out, and you came from a place of experience and a true fan of the game, someone that has spent countless hours playing with others, and that community feel of not just going at Destiny alone, but including as many people as possible. And I felt like you really shared that point of view or that perspective at the summit, and the timing is perfect, because we've got a lot of information to talk about, and I really want to hear your take on it. But before we get into that, I wanted to find out a little bit about where you came from as a player to Destiny, because when you join your chats, you join your Twitch chats, and you watch your streams, it's very obvious that you're a true fan. Your knowledge of the game is there, and you're a true fan. Like you play as a Titan, which is, immediately puts you above everybody else. I mean, you understand that at that point. I understand that you're you understand what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to know, how did you get into Destiny? What brought you to it? Why are you here with us today? Like, what got you involved in Destiny as a game?
Oh man, my Destiny thing is like the craziest story ever. Taco Bell got me into Destiny.
Taco Bell?
To be honest with you.
Really?
Taco Bell.
Yep. I was in college. I was
cancel you from the call right now.
Dude, I played college basketball, and like during season, most of us don't go out much. When we do, get off campus, went to Taco Bell, bought a $5 box or whatever. First time I wasn't even given a box. Second time I went back with my teammate, asked the manager, I was like, hey, last time I was here, I didn't get a box for, buying the $5 package. I mean, I'm a college student. Like, why not? Why not ask?
Great.
Sure. Yeah.
So they gave me two.
So
and
got it.
Yeah, like a few months later, I won a Destiny Edition PlayStation from Taco Bell.
You
actually won those?
Crazy.
Won one? That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Did
then
you have to make a purchase to enter?
I guess I bought a $5. Yeah.
Just wondering.
And then, after practice in the room, playing the game. I didn't know much at first. I met a lot of, Year 1 players, a lot of my friends now, playing the game every day, learning. And then, even after college, I had a corporate job at Hertz Equipment Rental, and come home and play. And I learned a lot about the game.
Was this that white PlayStation with Destiny?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And you won it from Taco Bell. That's an amazing story, man. And
that is amazing.
From there, you ended up loving the game so much, and how'd you start streaming off of that? Did you go out and see people doing it, or? It's such a weird story because
I mean, like, all right, so I mean, my job was like cool or whatever, but it was kind of annoying. It was like going to work, you sit at a desk. I was a senior analyst, so I just look at numbers. I basically figure out where you're making money from, where you're not making money from, how to help out. But I don't know. I was in Florida. I wasn't really happy. And then I found happiness like helping kids get quota done. So I used to bring one clanmate with me with Gallahorns. I used to be the sword bearer. I would ask Dami to come with me, and he'll bring quota down. We'll do the 2-sword thing. Kids will come in with their ash factories, and I'll just have them like shoot at his foot. If we had to go to Ogre Room, I'll go to one by myself, and Dami will go to the other side with the kids, and that's how I started streaming. Like everyone was like, "Oh, come on, man, let's go ball this guy," and then that was it. That's how I started streaming.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's incredible. That's the best story I've heard.
That's great.
I love it. From Taco Bell to a star streamer. So it's a direct path, and one that many of us should seek to follow.
Just to recap that Taco Bell thing. Do you guys remember the commercial? And it was this guy who was like, he showed up. He was like, I was just eating some Taco Bell, and he accidentally fires his Gallahorn off.
Yeah,
in there. Like it's a
we
fantastic.
used to say that guy was Pope Bear.
It's a fantastic commercial. It's still on YouTube. You can look it up
if you know this history. But they've been dogging me about Taco Bell for years.
Years.
For years. It got so bad that I had to smear it all over my face to get them to shut up.
Wait a minute here.
That was voluntary.
You got a little excited, Pope Bear.
Yeah, I think you were interested in the Taco Bell.
Who doesn't eating Taco Bell, right? So you got into you were playing with your friends. You started to enjoy. What made you hit the Twitch button though to go live? I mean,
well, a few guys in my clan were streaming at the time, and then they showed me Twitch. I didn't have a camera. One of them sent me like the PlayStation camera. That's cool. Just started from there. Yeah.
What did you know about Twitch before Destiny, or did Destiny get you into Twitch?
I had a Justin TV account as well, actually, but I never knew about Twitch or anything. As a kid, like you sign up for all these accounts when you're online. I spent a lot of time online, so I came on. It was like, oh yeah, you already have a Twitch. My name is like one of those things. If I go somewhere or if I apply for something new, it's like your name is Sega, and I'm like, fuck, that has to be me. So like, I hit reset password. I got an email. I was like, yep, that's my account. And then I just reset the password. But that happens to me all the time. Like if I go sign up for a certain company, but the name was changed and I didn't know, it happens way too many times.
That's funny.
My mom always says that too. She's like, if I find your name somewhere, I know you have an account. I was like, yeah.
So the other day I was watching you just absolutely grinding the crap out of the game. You are as hardcore of a grinder as I've ever seen. You can just put your head down and keep doing it. Now, is that the kind of is Destiny moving in the direction with the grinding, the increase in the grind and the chase of loot? Is this going in the direction that you wanted, or is the way D2 launched what you enjoyed? How do you feel about that transition from D1 to D2 and where we are now?
The beginning of D2 wasn't the greatest. It was easy to get to max light. Even like just being able to help people out wasn't the same because everyone had the same things. People didn't have to do raids or do nightfalls to get what they needed anymore. Clan engrams basically gave everyone everything, and I had to find different ways to satisfy my urge to play Destiny. And another good, it's not a good thing, but the downtime basically helped me learn mouse and keyboard because PC was a new platform to me as well. I got to sit down and I sat in Iron Banner solo queue with mouse and keyboard, got my butt whooped plenty of times to learn mouse and key. And now I can say, all right, cool, I accomplished something new from that as well. So, a challenge is always a good thing. Even as an athlete in college, it's like you want to go after a target. You have a drive and you're going after it. So when it comes to it, I don't know. I just go after whatever I believe in, nice. I guess. Yeah.
So you, when I was in your chat, your subscribers made sure that I got linked to a few clips of you making some very interesting guttural sounds. It seems to... One of the things that I appreciated about being in your chat is that you really enjoy and playing the game, and you have a lot of excitement for it, and it's very obvious when you're watching and you're observing you play. It showed through when you were hunting through strikes, looking for the catalyst, and you were talking about how excited you were to finally get the catalyst, and then when chat saw that I was in there, they're like, "Oh, you should see these tricks," and I watched the clips, and you are like so excited. Can you tell us about like your path to catalyst stardom? Apparently, you have all of them, correct?
Yeah, I have all 5. Yeah.
Does anybody in here have all the catalysts?
No.
Why don't you?
I haven't
tell
gotten
us,
a single
PK,
strike catalyst yet.
Tell us what you needed to go through in order to accomplish this monumental task.
I mean, I set my goal as to get all 5, and I tried all different patterns. I tried normal strikes for a bit, nothing came up. I tried heroic strikes for a bit, nothing came up. Inverted Spire was the Nightfall, so I started just constantly speedrunning that Nightfall over and over and over. And then a tweet came out from Damage, which said, "Go for a high score, you have a higher chance." So I brought a few friends in. We did 25 Nightfalls with high scores and nothing. So I went back to doing just the normal Prestige Nightfall with the heavyweight modifier and just the burn. And I got it on my 161st Prestige Nightfall completion. The craziest thing is that like some of the guys in the channel came in, they would go to sleep, they'll come back, and I'm still awake, just constantly grinding. I had people ask me, "Why are you playing it alone?" I was like, "Dude, I'm trying to get these catalysts." And the EP shotgun made it easy to just kill the boss in the first phase and just go down. So, that very first catalyst did feel really good. 161 Prestige Nightfall strikes to get one is just insane.
Which one was it?
It was a Wrist Runner.
Was it?
Yeah, Wrist Runner.
Okay, do you think doing Prestige actually helped? Or with those numbers, do you think Heroic... Given the same amount of completions, because obviously doing Prestige with those kind of modifiers allows you to power through it. But like, do you think doing Heroic would have ultimately ended up being the same amount of completions?
No, I don't think so. No? Because I looked at the numbers. I completed about 335 Prestige Nightfalls to get 5, and I got all of them through Prestige Nightfalls. And I did about maybe 200 something Hero Strikes, and I didn't get anything out of that. So. I was like, what? I'm not going to touch Hero Strikes anymore. Plus the modifiers each day, depending like Blackout and Glass, or they're not the best thing ever. So after getting the first 3 through Prestige Nightfalls, I just like said no to Hero Strikes and normal strikes, and I just stuck to Prestige Nightfalls, and I got the other 2 out of there. So if I know it's going to come out of there, I might as well just grind that, and I know that I can probably get it done within 5 to 6 minutes. Then having to sit in a strike, you don't know what strike you're going to get, and have some crappy modifiers as well.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's a long haul.
So I have a question for you. How did you manage your inventory? Because there's a lot of drops that happen on strikes. And a lot of them you just delete. They're just blues that are below light level, and even the legendaries. But you must... talk to me, man. Like, how did you manage the drop rate? Because you must have spent a lot of time in... Do you use Destiny Item Manager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try to delete most of the blues that I got as soon as I was done, because instead of going back to orbit, I would just fly back in. So I tried deleting it every time I was going back in. But sometimes stuff would go to the postmaster, so I had to use them to bring it up to delete it. So some of the guys would go ahead and I would delete it as it was going on. And then people kept coming. I was like, "Oh man, how did you get so many weapon parts?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. It happens."
So why? I'm curious to talk a little bit more about like why you were trying to figure out how to get these catalysts, and you're steering away from heroic mods or the heroic strike playlist. Yeah. And was it because of those? You mentioned the heroic mods. Was it because they were just What kept you away from the heroics playlist?
Well, when I first started, I was like doing a little bit of heroics. Then I got sick of it a little bit, so I do some normal strikes. I'm like, all right, fine. I could go back to like farming the Nightfall for a bit. So I kept the tab, which basically had like all of the numbers, right? And I kept going and I kept counting each day where I started. And when the first one popped out of the Prestige Nightfall, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can go back and get another, which I did. And then I was like, all right, well, I need a break from doing this Nightfall over and over. Let me go back into Heroic Strikes. Maybe I'll get one there. So after doing like maybe 40 of those straight, Blackout's a terrible modifier, but I kept doing it.
Numbers right now.
I kept doing it, and then
mind-blowing.
Then I was like, you know what? I don't know about this. So I went back into Prestige Nightfalls, and then I got 2 in one day. So I was like, what's the point of doing heroics at all if I'm always going to get it out of Prestige? It was just
Nightfalls are easier than heroics.
Yeah.
At this point,
and you can choose your modifiers,
right
kind of.
Yeah. You know, I ran some heroic strikes the other day because it's part of the faction rallies. You complete 3 heroic strikes, and it was interesting, man. I've never had so many teammates drop and come back in one strike. Like what's the one where it's
random, like match-made teammates?
The Taken one?
The Taken one where the guy at the end is you drop
where
down
all the walls
Oh yeah, the PlayStation exclusive one, yeah.
That one, my God.
If it's not Void Burn, you do not want to do that one.
Yeah, it's seriously like it is interesting. I like the fact that they're more difficult.
Yeah.
But the combination of the mods, I feel like there should be some, no pun intended, but there should be some blackout mods. Like certain mods shouldn't be paired with each other. I wonder if they have they're curating that list, or if
they have. They've said publicly they're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, because blackout and the melee modifier, like they were together one day. I was like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into melee and it's still alive, and then they just kill you. It's insane.
Yeah, I feel like they need heavyweight to complement blackout to have the incentive. Like, it's very dangerous, but you could burn things down very quickly. I think that's a good compliment right there. It's a trade-off.
That is good.
Yeah. So you're like could you consider yourself a collector? Are you going for everything in the game, or are you just focused on like what gets you going in Destiny? What makes you sign on every day?
Oh no, for sure, collector. My next thing on the list is going for Crucible Catalyst, and then after that, my Sunshot's basically done already. So I try to collect everything in the game. If it has good perks, or if it seems like it's going to have something good in the future, I want to get it. Another reason why I went with Future Wall Call, because they normally have some of the best guns to use in the game.
And
That's
you
right.
being a good person, it was the obvious choice.
Yeah. You care about the future of the solar system and the planet and humanity.
Yeah.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a soul.
You're not
I
a
get it.
coward who wants to run away in his Doc Martens and his leather trench coat.
Exactly.
Or someone that just cares about what they look like. You know what I mean?
They're looking very... New Monarchy's looking very McDonald's. Also, New Monarchy isn't really being talked about, let's be honest. It's Dead Orbit and Future War Cult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. New Monarchy's that guy, the kid in the corner. You know, he's just in timeout
Pretty much.
for this one.
Yeah, this one for sure.
Yeah.
Had a good run in season 1 or in year 1.
What are there any sleeper guns out there that you swear by right now? That you say you like to find those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah. The Defiant, which is from Future Wall Call, is an energy hand cannon, has threat detector. It's really good in Crucible. Most people don't use it, but it's a really good gun. The Heart of Time is pretty good. Very good in PvE. People don't even check that out as well. There's also
I don't even think I've heard of that. What is that?
What makes that gun good?
It has Dragonfly, and then the sight is pretty good. The stability is awesome.
What
as
type
well.
of gun is it?
It is a pulse rifle.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
An energy slot, yeah.
Yep.
And then, Future Walker also has a new shotgun, which is called the Decider. If you don't have the EP shotgun, that shotgun is really good as well. It's fully auto. I like it more than the Perfect Paradox, but
Really?
it's just because
Nice.
of the handling. Yeah.
Nice. I've been using Perfect Paradox because I haven't got the EP shouty yet, but I didn't pull that shotgun out from Future War Cult. I'll have to give it a shot.
Try it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you gotten all the armor and guns from Escalation Protocol?
Yeah.
What did you find of the drop rate? I mean, how many EPs did it take you to get all the weapons?
I think most of my mods hate me because each week I got like 3 or 4 of the same weapon. So they just call it streamer loot, but I don't know. Because the first week I got like 5 shotguns.
How many did it take for you to get your first gun to drop?
Okay, don't hate me, but I got the shotgun on the first try.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, this is what we've asked for, though, isn't it? This is what we wanted. We wanted more of a grind. We wanted to be able to chase the best loot, and that's basically what they've given us with the Warmind. You know, the Escalation Protocol is a grind fest. The Future War Cult, or the Faction Rally is a
the Future War Cult
rally.
No, you're right. It's just the Future War Cult rally.
Future War Cult rally.
Yeah, it's the Future War Cult rally.
But with that though, I just want to say I've had bad luck with that shotgun. Haven't been getting it. I haven't grinded heavily, but enough to where I'll get like sidetracked and be like, okay, I need to do something else. This week I went into the Nightfall because I needed the Silicon Norama. I haven't gotten that yet, that sniper, and they fixed it. And then I got 2 snipers in 4 Nightfalls, and I was like,
wow,
what? That means I'm not getting the shotgun this week.
Oh man,
you've used it.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Go back to that well, Tefty. Once it's dry,
it's dry. Yeah.
Dry.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're EK. You do you play a lot with your with like a crew of mods, and you have a tight group there. But it seems like you also pull a lot of people from chat. Do you feel like the difficulty of some of the what do you feel like this is a 2-part question. What do you feel about like the change in difficulty of Escalation Protocol, specifically in the sort of the nerfs that it came to that specifically, and how do you think that's affected people's enjoyment of Escalation Protocol, and do you think it's a good change that they made?
Okay. Escalation Protocol, like, with Bungie nerfing it, I wasn't a huge fan of it because, like, the first week, most people that beat it were, like, almost around the light level, but you needed 9 people to do it. And the second week, the people that made it to 380, 385, they were still able to tackle through it. Now that it's 385 and I'm 385, when I go in there, you don't really get as much of a challenge. I feel like the higher stages should be higher level. And, I just think the people that complain about it maybe weren't the max level needed in order to be in there to be comfortable. I feel like if everyone was 385 and the enemies are 400, that's a 15 light and difference. I mean, that's not that huge. That's like going into a Nightfall that's 360 and you're 345. There's not going to be that much of a difference. So Bungie nerfing it was kind of weird to me. Because now it's like a walkthrough for the players that like kind of enjoy that challenge. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that it should be that hard, but it was a good in between.
I think it feels like they almost preemptively nerfed it to lower the light level. I can call it a nerf, but I think they preemptively did that to sort of appease people's. I think they did it prematurely. I feel like they did it to appease an upswell of people. But those same people in another week, when they've gotten through that light level, are going to find themselves bored of it, and not challenged by it.
The only issue though is that when it pre-nerf, it took Giggs and 2 other people. I can't remember the names, but I just remember Glad and Slayers maybe. Took them 8 hours playing unbelievably passive, sniping across the map to take down that boss that week, to be able to do it as 385s. And that doesn't sound right either. So like, I think Escalation Protocol really highlighted the fact that we need more end-game activities for 6 people that is not just raid or PvP. Like, that really is what it comes down to. We need to be able to go into patrol and do an end-game activity with 6 people, and also go raid and go play PvP.
Well, yeah, the escalation protocol was such a good thing to go along with raiding. It's like you have this raid, you can go with your friends, and it's very mechanics based. And then there's this thing where you get to run around and shoot a bunch of dudes, and it's really fun. So it kind of complemented each other really well. I understand why they did it because it was supposed to be a 3-man activity. And it didn't appear to be a 3-man activity for some of the bosses at least. But I think if they just take this and learn that, hey, we really like this escalation protocol thing, let's kind of run with that, then I'll be happy.
It'd be interesting to have escalation protocol on planets that are sort of associated to the progression of your character through the Destiny world. So when you go to Venus, you go the public events, or not the public events, but the missions and the adventures and stuff are lower light level, because that's in the player progression. You would be that light level there. It would be interesting to see escalation protocol kind of follow that pattern, where you knew that your toughest challenge was going to be on Mars, and maybe that was for that top tier player, or that player that's at their max light level, and then other escalation protocols would be more, present when you were a lower light as you're moving up through. I don't know. It's interesting to see. I don't think anybody's thinking that escalation protocol is a bad thing. I think a lot of us feel that it's a good thing, and we want to see it grow and be successful. So watching you grind it was awesome. It almost felt like the PvE version of Trials, where you were doing, Trials carries. You're doing, EP carries.
Yep. And there are times where you'll go in there, like, there's only 6 of us, and you see, like, a blueberry hanging around, and we're doing it, like, oh, well, you can join. I think they made it into a patrol space because there are going to be people that are going to need help. Yeah. Yeah, even if you only match 6 and not 9, you're still able to help out someone there. I mean, there were times where we needed to bring in friends onto an area, and there'll be like a random person there. And yeah, you can join us. Like, if you want free loot, we helped out this guy that was like 340. He couldn't do anything, and he got it done the first week. I remember TWAB came in on he jumped into Interceptor. He couldn't shoot anything, but he got it done. It's just like, they made it so people can, kind of interact with each other in open space and try to help each other get the job done. It just didn't work out the way they pictured it. I think.
It's got a similar feel to the Vault of Glass, where like sometimes you'd just be kind of wandering around in patrol and you'd see like this massive cool activity happening, and you could choose to join in, or you could just choose to sit back in the rocks and watch what's going on. Maybe you've never been to the raid before, that was something new that you might not have ever seen.
Yeah.
That's something, it's one thing that's really cool with the nerf to escalation protocol is that you can now see, some random person walking around, and they joined us for like 5 runs of doing the boss.
That is cool.
And this person, maybe they've never done it before, they never had a team to do it, and they're like, oh, holy crap, there's a team who's just doing escalation protocol. That's awesome. So I do like that. I like that feeling of there's this person just doing patrols or whatever, and they end up running escalation protocol for like 3 hours.
That was cool.
I've had a good time. What do you guys? Anyway, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts on some of the EK. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on what Bungie's announcements are for year 2. The community is seeming to have a great response to the Vidoc that came out. We're going to cover all that information. Briar, are we ready?
We're ready, man. Let's talk about the Forsaken Reveal.
Let's do this, man.
We got a lot to talk about. Okay, we got the Forsaken Reveal itself, the Vidoc, and I want to shout out Dave Samuels for being the coolest individual I've ever seen in video form ever. Awesome. Thank you for making my day a better day, for making me laugh along with you, Dave. You're awesome.
He is awesome.
If you guys don't remember Dave, he's the one who's getting so excited. Go ahead, Watts.
Can we just get him on the podcast and just a sound?
That would be amazing.
The whole time?
Yes. I want to have a laugh off with him.
Brad, do you remember when they were announcing the Titan hammer, the Hammer Titan?
Yeah.
Do you remember? And he was in that Vidoc. And
yes.
The thing that got me most excited is that when he looked at the camera, and then you go, and I'm like, yes. So yeah, he came at it again. He came at it and got me hyped again.
He's so infectious. He's so infectious. Let's talk about the news. So Forsaken DLC is coming out September 4th. And we got a new roadmap. I guess, should we talk about the roadmap after the DLC? Let's do that. Yeah. All right. So the Forsaken tells a new story with a darker tone in a lawless frontier. The environmental storytelling, the environments are so fucking beautiful in this, guys.
They are.
There's the Dreaming City that you go into, and that's going to be your new like end game kind of place to hang out, right? That's where the raid's going to be. That's where there's going to be other end game activities, and they say it's going to change as people do the raid. It's going to change the Dreaming City and open up new activities in the Dreaming City. But the aesthetic of the Dreaming City, with like it's set in the reef, right, with like the purple skies. But it's also got almost like a Greek feel to it, with like these big shields and like these ancient ruins. It's a very cool aesthetic. It's just
the Awoken city, right?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Pause right there, Briar. This reminds me of when I saw the Vidoc. It reminded me of a conversation that you. It wasn't an argument. It was a conversation that we had last podcast, and something that you talked about where you really thought that Bungie should have made patrols 6-man.
Yeah.
And I think there is a confusion there because I completely 100% agree with you. I was arguing from a technical standpoint, and you were arguing with what they should have done.
No, I was arguing with you, straw manning my argument.
We all know that you were wrong, so let's move on. My point is, it reminded me of this might be Bungie's answer to you. Like that statement right there.
The Dreaming
City?
City?
The Dreaming City. So the raid is a 6-man. How can the raid change the Dreaming City? I believe there's got to be a connection there. I think the Dreaming City is going to be a place where we can take our raid team.
Well, okay. So they've actually already said they already said that there's 2 new spaces. One is the reef that's going to be like the western tumbleweed type of thing going on in the asteroid belt. And then the Dreaming City, which is an end game location. This is the first time that they've done this. Which is
their first one,
Yeah, this is the first time that they've had an end game location that is also housing the raid. So it's not just the Dreaming City is the raid. It's the Dreaming City is an end game location, which I'm assuming you have to get max level and then go visit and bring a fire team, but then also opens up activities for the raid and potentially other stuff, which makes me very excited.
It's so exciting. Like the world, that place changes when people complete the raid. So imagine World's First. Even people who can't be a part of World's First, they know that something's going to happen when that very first team clears the raid. Oh my God. How exciting is that going to be for everyone watching? Like, oh my gosh, I wonder what it's going to be. That's going to be so exciting. It's really cool.
That's very cool.
I didn't even think of that. That's amazing. I hope they're doing that.
And they described it as if the Dreadnought and
Vault of Glass.
Vault of Glass.
Did they say that Vault of Glass had a baby or were sisters?
Or they were twins.
We're twins.
Like yeah, twins.
Yeah, they played baseball together as kids or something. I don't know. Yeah, weird analogy. Kind of drifted a little bit.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what did you guys think that he meant by that?
I think so. The Dreadnought was full of secrets and things to discover. So I kind of took that this place is going to be like that, but also from the Vault of Glass comment, I kind of thought that maybe you'll see people going into VOG, like we talk all the time. You know, you'll see fire teams going to the Dreaming City entrance of the raid. That's where I kind of took those being meshed.
Where does the Peter Jackson comment come in?
Vault of Glass inspires a lot of that Peter Jackson stuff, like the feeling of Lord of the Rings, because it's like an epic scale going on a journey that might not have a way back. Like this might be your final journey type of thing, that descent feel that Vault of Glass had. And I feel like they're bridging those concepts of this is an epic movie experience into a raid with a bunch of bosses. They said there's a bunch of bosses in there.
A lot of bosses.
More bosses than we've ever had.
Yeah.
Cannot
That's
wait.
pretty exciting.
Woo. Makes me excited.
This is going to be... And it looks like they're tagging a lot of the guys in the Vidoc. I know, Brian, we got to move on, but like the people they talked about this were the guys from High Moon Studios.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's interesting that they are leaning heavily on for some of this content, and they're making it public too, that they're working with these outside studios.
I think that's really cool because, like, if you look at the Warmind, there are fresh ideas in the Warmind, right? Escalation Protocol feels like a fresh idea. You know, a lot of the locations that you go to don't seem like just, you know, it was the first time that we've gone to a place in the Warmind that we've already been to, right? We've already been to Mars. But this portion of Mars felt like it was designed by somebody else, right? It didn't feel like a redux of Mars from Destiny 1. It shared a similar color scheme because it's Mars, it's the red planet, but it felt like a new location, and there are new ideas and there are new secrets to explore, and you know, we're still unlocking some of that stuff, and that's a lot of fun. You know, that's the cool thing about having so many different teams working on the project too, is like, you know, what is High Moon Studios' take on this going to be?
Yeah.
And it feels like the team that they pulled together, because the game has been out for a while now. And I think that, and hear me wrong, I might be totally off base, but Bungie came as an amalgamation of a bunch of different studios, or like but people that were already making Halo, right? And they came over and they started making Destiny. I feel like Vicarious Visions and High Moon are teams that are developed that are already currently involved in the game as it is right now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Vicarious Visions team were all like, not that the Bungie people weren't fans of the game, that's not what I'm saying, is that they were already invested in the culture of the game as they were designing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I get that impression. Definitely.
Feels like we're getting a more gamer-centric view of the universe.
Curse of Osiris felt like it had a deadline pressure to it, and that's why it turned out that way. From an outside perspective, it felt that way. Warmind felt like fans of the Destiny universe making a DLC for the game.
Yeah. It's funny watching reviews of the Warmind DLC. You could tell like who's coming at it as like a regular player of Destiny and who's coming at it as I played through this story. It wasn't that impressive. It felt like more Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Right. Players who have played a lot of Destiny can see a huge difference between the Warmind DLC and the rest of Destiny 2 compared to somebody who just played through the story. You know, you see, you know, quick story and then okay, that was the DLC. You know, sure. So it's a funny thing. We're also going to get the Tangled Shore, new destination made of a web of asteroids and mysteries. So this
and
is
tumbleweeds.
And tumbleweeds,
yes.
Like there's definitely like a Western flavor, right? They even reference the Magnificent Seven, and some of the designs for the enemies almost remind me of like more like
Pirates,
like Shogun, like samurais. Oh, yeah, yes. Like some real.
The Scorn are beautiful. I love them.
I got like a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, which I thought was cool.
Because they're pirates, right?
Yeah,
the Scorn are like pirates and thieves and it's awesome.
You know what would work great with the Western thing? You know what would work great with Western?
Last word?
Exactly. Gimme.
Yeah.
It's going to be the era of hand cannon. It's coming. He was wearing lucky pants.
Yeah, he had the lucky pants on.
Hand cannon is like the emblem for the Forsaken DLC is a hand cannon.
Well, it's Ace of Spades, right? Is that?
Yeah, isn't it Ace of Spades?
Yeah, it looks like it for sure.
But obviously, last word should be
when you get your pre-order bonus on the PlayStation Store and it gives you a unique theme, the theme back image is an Ace of Spades.
Right.
Is it?
A big pistol in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll talk about like the purchasing stuff a little later, but I got hopes that they're going to have like a special edition, like physical thing.
Yes.
Right.
And I'd love to get an Ace of Spades up in here.
Yeah.
I didn't think
that
about
would be a pretty cool pack in for a special edition. The Scorn are the new enemy, led by a group of 8 barons who will hunt you down.
They look so cool. Did you see them?
Yes.
Did you see them?
I saw
I want like the guy with the weird helmet with like the pointy square helmet. I want that helmet. I want to literally take his helmet and I want to wear it. I want to wear it. And then there was like this dreg that had like kind of a shark outfit on. It's like a red dragon shark thing. They just all look so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love with that design.
Didn't it seem like one of the Guardians had one of the Cabal dogs? What are they called?
Yes. Yeah. The War Beasts. Yeah.
War Beasts. One of the Guardians had a War Beast like as a helmet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like if you go look at one of the steel frames, it's like it seems like the armor is more like I don't know. I hope that
that was the War Beast that he was wearing. Yep.
That's cool.
The Scorn are cool looking, man.
They are.
Like they're definitely falling, But they are. I mean, this is more than a reskin. It's more than a reskin that we saw in like the Siva stuff and the Tegan stuff. Where the Tegan stuff, they got all new abilities, and everybody just got turned black, right?
Yeah.
And then with the Siva stuff, they all got peg legs, and they got some new abilities again. This, I mean. These look different.
These guys are they're totally different.
Yeah.
They're not like Fallen, some faction of Fallen. They're Scorn. They definitely look Fallen inspired, but they are different. Especially
those
the Barons.
dudes with the lanterns,
Uh-huh.
and they use them
so
like a
cool.
melee weapon. Oh my god, they're really
Also,
cool.
it looks like they've tampered into some hive technology too. I don't know if you noticed that. Like that hive door opens up.
Not.
Yeah, like like a hive portal opens up behind that Baron. And I don't know if this is actually what it is, but it looked like to me that they've embraced some of that that evil stuff coming from the hive and done their own hybrid type of thing. They just look very just.
They're smoking some of that darkness.
Yeah, they've been smoking the darkness and coming in.
Not even once, kids. Not even once.
Not even once.
New weapon system is coming. We got some details on the new weapon system. I'm still a little unclear on this, so maybe you guys can help me understand it a little bit. But you're gonna be able to put basically any weapon type in any weapon slot, right?
Yep.
So far as we know, do we know for sure? Like, are rocket launchers going to be able to be kinetic weapons, or do we know, like for sure, it's any?
I mean, when I was speaking with John, I believe one of the shotguns were too strong, so they wanted to leave that in the power slot. But you're still going to have one in the kinetic and energy, and I think snipers is the same. But I don't think you could do it for anything else.
Okay.
So is it going to be
fusion rifles, maybe?
Like linear fusion rifles are staying down there, but I don't think anything else is. You can be able to do 3 of stuff like that.
So my question is, like, are you going to be able to put Hawthorns in the kinetic slot, or is there going to be a specific kinetic?
I think it's going to be specific kinetic.
Specific
kinetic sniper, kinetic
shotgun that you have to get.
Okay. So when they were talking to us at the summit, they hadn't worked out the details of it yet, and they didn't break down to that level of granularity yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, from the Vidoc,
from the Vidoc, it looked like that they're curating weapons that can drop in those different slots. That's what it looked like, because they have that number that like the white one, the green 2, and the purple 3. Those look like okay, you've gotten one of those weapons to drop in that particular slot, which will also further the hunt, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they each have different. You could have 3 shotguns, but they each have different ammo, and you get that ammo from different places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not different places, but you get that ammo separately. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. This is a major change to the game.
Huge.
PvE and PvP.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to shake up everything.
Yeah, it's huge.
Do you guys think that they're going to bring forward things like, say, Better Devils for the system, or are they going to keep year 1 Destiny 2 loot as that's that loot? It will still drop, but that's the loot that it stays at, and bring in new weapons?
I feel like they would have had to have talked about that pretty soon.
They would have started.
Yeah, if they would. I don't know. I don't think they could just drop that on people, right? Like, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
All those weapons you like.
Well,
I don't know. It was weird because in the video when they were describing stuff, they were talking about random roles coming back, and I feel like they might go with the route where like we had to leave our Fateburner behind and get all the new guns that came in like in Destiny 1 Year 2. So I feel like that might be the transition. I am not sure, but it seems like it.
One thing that makes me think they're not going to do it this time is because the weapon slot changes and weapon randomization are not specific to the Forsaken DLC. They're actually going to get given in Update 2.0 to all players.
Good point. So you can't just take away everyone's guns.
Yeah.
Guys, you have fists now.
That's
Buy the Forsaken or you just have your fists.
That's a good point. Well, they did say that everybody gets free updates, but then the expansion and the annual pass is bringing in even more weapons and stuff. So I'm assuming that. I have no idea how they're actually going to approach this problem. It seems like all of year 1 Destiny 2 stuff is going to stay that way. Like, we'd still be able to use it, but it's going to stay in the slots that they have, and then new weapons are going to be introduced that can roll in different spots and have different random rolls.
Well, it doesn't break anything to keep them, right?
Exactly.
Like just because I can now put a shotgun in my kinetic slot doesn't mean that I can't put my Midnight Coup there.
Exactly.
Right? There's no. Right. It doesn't unbalance something because I'm using a Midnight Coup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'd hate for. I hate for all these Catalyst exotics that we got and Masterwork weapons to suddenly get year one like they did in the Taken King. That was really annoying when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it's like,
you can
go and
why
chase your Sunshot again, you know? Yeah, you can definitely understand why they did it, but like, I personally don't want to see that happen. I want to see the sandbox grow and become really vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're adding random rolls, obviously, and improving the mod system for better weapon customization. Again, something that we definitely want more clarification on.
Yeah. Improve. I like the word improve, and I like random. So, but we have no idea what that actually means.
I mean, from the way they're talking about it, it does sound like it's going to be random rolls, right? It's going to be like weapons roll with random perks. Are those perks going to be mods? Like, are mods and perks going to be interchangeable? Will we be able to swap those perks out, like, based on mods you have? I don't know. Like, that's all stuff that I'd really like to see. Because the mod system right now is, like, basically... Garbage. It's an attack on kinetic weapons. Like, here's +5 attack. Here's your mod.
Well, I mean, they said some of our guns are going to evolve as well as you go along.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to add a roll to it, or is that going to be something that's just static? We'll see. That'd be pretty cool.
That's what I'd love.
Maybe they're taking our idea of, get X amount of kills, you unlock another mod slot or
boom. And the mod slot is different and only accepts certain mods. Like, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be exciting.
Yes. New Masterwork style system allows you to level up weapons over time.
Yeah. Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot we don't know, right? They're going to be talking about this all summer.
And I'm already excited.
Yeah. Your Guardian discovers new way to fight with new supers. 9 new supers, I think.
Yep.
Like,
it's like every subclass.
Confirmed we've seen 7 of them, I think, in the vid doc.
Mm-hmm.
What was... So the Arc Titan, the Arc Hunter,
Titan.
the Void Hunter, the Solar Hunter, the Void Warlock, and the Arc Warlock.
Yeah, there's speculation that we saw the Solar Warlock too.
I actually was talking about that on stream, where they put their sword into the ground inside the bubble, and you kind of see a Warlock just standing there with the sword in the ground. We were like, is that some kind of like buff to your teammates, or... That's what I was kind of guessing that it was.
That thing was insane. That was an insane super. That super.
When I saw that Titan flying head first at the enemies, I'm like, oh hell
you
yeah!
You about to smack your NDA so hard right now.
I know. I was like, oh no.
People were saying that it's Fist of Havoc. I'm like, guys, it's not Fist of Havoc. That's like, he was like flying. It was not a,
He was doing some Peter Pan stuff, hitting the ground with
and Solar Titan too, so that would be 8, right? We're just missing the Defender Titan. We're missing the Sentinel. Well,
so I mean, it's not a new subclass for each character, right? It's a new super, It's a new like node, because along with that super, you got to expect there's like a new like set of abilities that go on that node, right? So you'll choose between the top and the bottom node that we currently have in our subclass tree, and then this new node theoretically that'd be in the middle that not only has the new super but also has like a
neutral game,
the other stuff that goes along with that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I did not expect them to do 9 supers. Like, that was that was
crazy, right?
Kind of mind blowing. I was like, wait,
that's exciting.
For real? For Forsaken? Holy crap! Honestly, the Vidoc, the whole time, it just felt like a laundry list of things that I would love to see in a post about wish lists from Reddit. That they were like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, and I'm like, whoa, for real? These aren't things that you're trying to do.
That was probably the most exciting time. One of the 2 most exciting times at the summit were when we discussed. One was when we discussed the sandbox changes. That was the sandbox team really, I feel like, killed it in their approach to the summit and like our interactions. But the second was to hear about the direction that they were going with this, with what Claude was going with. Claude was talking about the direction they were going with abilities, and they like their mission was to bring the space magic back, bring the fantastical part of it back, and they were reimagining all of the supers and the new supers and stuff in that way, in that light. It should be amazing.
We've already started to get that feeling.
And you're like, holy crap, that was awesome. That's the feeling.
We've already started to get that feeling from the exotic armor, right? It's like the exotic armor has upped the power level of our Guardians, I think, tremendously in a lot of situations.
I think Lunafaction boots could use a buff, honestly.
Maybe. Syntheseps too. But I'll tell you, man, like that Warlock that was like warping around and then kind of like comes up, it's just like smash. Like that was dope. Like I'm looking forward to doing that in PvP. That's going to be hard to defend against.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
What else we got? The bow.
Compound bows, man.
So there's going to be 3 types of bows.
Yeah, medium, short, and long.
Yeah. So theoretically, I'm guessing like the short one would be like a short range, but also faster firing one.
That would be my guess, and less damage.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So you kind of like rapid fire shots, and then like the long range one acts more like a sniper. Do you think is there bullet travel time on these arrows, or are they going to be hit scan? You think?
I feel like there's got to be, right?
That's interesting, Tefty. What do you think?
It's space bows. So
arrow travel time, is that what you said, Pope?
I said, that's interesting, Tefty. What do you think?
Oh. I honestly think it would because it's not a projectile, or it's not a ballistic bullet that's being fired. Like it's got time to travel, which would see if they give it time to travel, then they can actually allow it to be powerful. Because what makes something the trade-off is slower travel time, but when it hits, it's going to be devastating versus bullets that activate right away but do less damage.
What if there's both?
True. Yeah. Exotic bows.
Exotic bows, no travel time.
I feel like Tefty, you're right there, because if you put a arrow with a travel time, you can make it do almost anything because the skill to use that in PvP is going to mean that like very few users are going to be able to actually get good enough to do it unless they put like a ton of aim assists on it, like they do with fusion grenades.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they have to find a balance, obviously, for it to feel good in the sandbox, but it looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And I hope I can rock 3 bows. 4 if I'm Night Stalker.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I hope they're not all just exotics, right?
With my bow super.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to throw a sword in there for good measure, right?
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Bow and sword.
Bow and sword?
Love it.
Bows and
How about a last word, a sword, and a bow?
I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm good with that loadout, I think.
You just described every hunter after Forsaken Land.
Right? I feel like
You're
I
not
just
wrong.
described half the anime out there, too. Gambit. What did you guys think of Gambit? I know that 3 of us got to play it, and you can't talk about your impressions yet. All you can say is you got to play it. But me and Tefty could talk about what we thought of it because we haven't played it.
I'm actually really interested.
Shit, man.
Looks
I've been
awesome.
super interested to know you guys' like first impression of Gambit, not playing it, not knowing much about it.
I definitely like the fact that they're bridging these 2 aspects. I've been wanting to see this in Destiny for a long time. I think this is it's a good step. It looks like you're going to get challenged with difficult foes, and one person can get sent over to do actual PvP. Correct?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys can't talk about it. Never mind. I think that's awesome. I think it's really cool. It also means that like you have to coordinate and send over your best hitman to go do some devastation on the other team. Or if somebody has a super, be like, "Yo, my Nova Bomb's ready. Send me over.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go over."
Or my bubble's ready. I'm gonna put it on their boss so they can't fucking TPS their boss.
That's amazing.
That's great. I like that.
Dude, what if you go over with the Warlock
one.
and you Goku him with the giant, the beam, whatever it's called?
Beam.
Yeah.
I like the risk reward thing of like you're trying to collect these boats, right? So you can deposit them, but you don't want to die with these boats. But it's going to take you time to go put them in the bank. And then there's these loot goblins running around apparently that'll steal your moats. I don't know if they steal them out of the bank if you leave them in there too long, or if they steal them off the ground if you leave them hanging out on the ground, or if they just steal them right out of your pockets. But the loot goblin has me interested, and the fact that your actions are directly affecting the enemy teams, basically their arena. Yeah. Like if we activate our bank, we get a boss in their arena. Maybe when we put that boss in, we also send Watts over to go fuck them up from the other side. right? Like, it's going to be a ton of fun, man. And like, you're going to want to coordinate with your fire team to, be doing the most amount of, boss damage, but also have, a decent PvP loadout, because at any point some Guardian could come in and start messing your team up. Good God, it just sounds like fun.
It really does. And it's its own playlist. It's not PvE and it's not PvP. So it's going to be its own matchmaking, and it's going to have rewards that are associated with it also. So
it's its own thing.
Yeah, its own thing, right?
Like, it's complete own thing. You've got PvP, you got PvE, and then you have Gambit.
Yeah.
And really, it feels like Destiny it's designed for this kind of activity.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
But it also feels like something new, right? Escalation Protocol felt like something new, but this feels like something new.
Yeah.
Right? This is like, oh shit, this is not us playing catch up to Destiny 1. This is Destiny 2.
Right.
Yeah, this is
Right.
This is
100%.
new. Yeah. And that's really exciting.
Gambit's super exciting because if you really start thinking about strategies, like you said, Briar, go in and put your bubble down. There's so many things that you can do in Gambit. There's such a high skill ceiling that you can reach. You can deposit your motes and you send a bad guy over to the other side and like, okay, we're going to go invade now while they're trying to get their bank back up. They can summon their primeval and you'd be like, okay, I'm just going to go over there and try and kill all of them so they can't win this game. There's so many strategies you can do. There's so many loadouts you can do. You can go in there, you can see like, okay, let's go in there and try and steal their motes, kill them and get their motes, and then go back. Like
that's so cool.
There's so much they can do. It's very exciting to think about all of that.
Some people are going to get to play it at E3. I think that's cool. But
E3?
We're going to get to play it at GuardianCon.
Exactly.
And GuardianCon.
There you go.
Can we have it at the DCP booth?
We will.
Yeah, can we organize that? That'd be great.
Then we can just play there the whole time.
Heard actually Planet Destiny chirping a little bit. They'd like a little matchup over at GuardianCon. I don't know if they can handle it. We beat them once. I don't know if we could do it to them twice, guys. We want to take it easy on them this time. I know we want to protect that hashtag undefeated thing and all, but
I'm not even worried about that. There's a lot of people nipping at our heels right now. A lot of people. A lot of podcasts asking for the showdown. A lot of people saying they want the showdown. Right? We'll tell them when we're ready for the showdown.
That's great.
Brand new raid location in the Dreaming City. Do you guys think there'll be raid layers, or like obviously
confirmed.
we're gonna get a full blown raid here?
They announced that in the TWAB today.
Oh, they did.
Yep.
I didn't see that part.
Yep.
So what did they announce?
That each of the things in the annual pass, the 3, is going to bring raid layers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
so we're gonna
cool.
get
Right?
a full raid plus 3 raid layers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're guaranteed 3
man.
raid layers, but we're definitely getting raid layers because I don't know if it's going to be every content drops it.
At least 2, though, to keep up with Leviathan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And new collections, guys. Collections. Ooh. So combine collections where you can deposit your stuff and not have it in your vault or your Guardian's inventory or anything. You just you keep it there for safekeeping. It's stuff that you're not using now, but maybe if the meta changes in PvP, you might want to pull it out or something like that. And 200 extra vault spaces. So now up to 500 empty slots in the vault, or potential slots in the vault.
Yep.
Plus the collections. Plus you got the Triumphs feature that's kind of ticking off what you've done and what you've completed in Destiny 2 all the time. So there's Triumphs coming in the summer for year 1, but that's going to be tracked on Bungie.net. The difference is in 2.0 that it's actually going to be tracked in-game. You're going to have a Triumphs tab and be able to track that stuff in-game.
Yep.
It's very cool. I'm super excited about collections, though. This solves a huge issue for me.
Yeah. Yeah, collections are great.
Well, it seems like
But you get to see where things are, right?
Yeah.
You get to look in your collections and be like, I have all the armor. How do I get that? It's like, okay, I'm going to go farm
This
that.
is right
I know
up
where to
your
get
alley,
it now.
right, EK?
Yep, it's perfect for someone who grinds the game. 'Cause you just look at what you need to do, or you can basically figure out where you want to start. There's probably certain things that I don't want to do until later, and then there's certain things. I get this out of the way first.
Yep.
So,
Of what they showed of that collections tab, or like that whole area of the Vidoc, what excited you the most of that?
I would say weapons. When it came to the
The weapon randomization or the weapon collection or both?
The
weapon.
The weapon collection itself. Reason why I like whenever a new gun comes out, there's a new patch or update, I like to test out certain perks. I like to go back and then see what might have changed. Like Dragonfly, for instance, was not good when the game first came out. Now it's pretty decent. You can do something with it. If you match Dragonfly with Armor Piercing, that's like perfect for an energy gun. Like the Vicuna or the Kibu. That's like a great gun to use now. But if at the beginning of Destiny 2, I would have never used that gun. I would have just thrown it away. So, I mean, they're saying random rolls. There's going to be a lot of things that are coming in. A lot. So I can't wait to tackle that as well. I feel like gear you can always get later because you know that it's there. One of the craziest thing I seen was they had a picture of a hunter holding one of the bows, and the gear on the hunter looks insane. It looks like a demented kind of look. I seen it on Twitter. I was like, man, this is insane. I can't wait to like get my hands on some of this stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
hopefully shaders are like a lot better too. I mean, when it comes to Destiny, everyone likes to be kind of unique in their own way, and some of our shaders are just, man, you don't even want to use it.
Yeah.
And we can't delete them all together either. So it's like,
do you think?
Apparently that's coming.
Oh, actually, so they said that mass shader deleting is coming in 2.0, right?
Yeah.
So the currency of shaders is not going away.
No.
Because that's obviously a feature that's coming. So what's interesting is, are we going to be able to print out shaders from that collection book, or is it just going to say? Hope so. Yeah? You hope so?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to collect the shaders still, but having stacks of shaders, it's just a pain in the neck, man. I bet
it's a pain
20 or 30 slots in my
right
vault is shaders.
Yeah, but so imagine that being removed. Let's say they fix the shader economy and every shader has a slot now because of the collection tab. Maybe the collection tab actually is holding all the shaders for you
instead of your vault.
That's cool.
Either way, it's fine with me. It's more space in my vault.
I don't get that feeling.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense with the mass delete, though.
I expect the collection tab is going to work more like it does with exotics right now, where if you delete it out of your inventory, it's still in your collections, and you can go get it again, but you got to pay a price to get it again. Like, you still own it, and you can see that you own it and that you earned it. But that's how I kind of expect that to work.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, for the shaders, I feel like if they did something where, like, if I don't want a certain amount of shaders, right, why not let me build my own shaders? Like, let me go on a planet and, like, farm for whatever nodes are on that planet to build that shader. So if I don't want that shader, I'll never go after it. Because I know
if I see a purple flower, I want to make a shader out of it.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe, some kind of, like, recipe for shaders. It'll be pretty cool. It'll keep people busy.
That would be super cool.
That would be super cool.
So the community seems really hyped about the Forsaken, right? It's like it got a pretty positive response. But Bungie does hype better than I think anybody. Right?
Oh, man. Their stuff's always
They know how to bring the hype.
Yeah.
They do, but man, they really knocked out a bunch of things that said, we've listened to what you've wanted in the first year of Destiny. Sure. And a lot of the times we could think of D2 year one as the dark ages of Destiny. I mean, the fact that they're bringing back random rolls means that after a whole year, they were like, yeah, as it turns out, random rolls are better.
Yeah.
Sorry you had to go through a whole year of no random rolls. We're putting it back in the game because we realized that we don't have a solution for your 10th Better Devils.
Right?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's good, though, that they're fixing it at this time. I mean, I was listening to Jason Schreier's podcast today, actually, and he listed off about 3 or 4. He called them Destiny likes. Like, that's literally the term he used. We got that new game from EA coming out. What's the one with EA and BioWare? Anthem. Thank you. The new Avengers game, apparently developed by Square Enix, is going to be a Destiny-like, which is interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Rage 2 is apparently going to be very much a Destiny-like.
Really?
There's some big competition. Yeah, that's what he said. And I don't know. I got no reason to distrust him, to be honest with you.
You're like, are you lying, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting. Like, there's a lot of very direct competition coming this fall. So it's
interesting.
It's an interesting time for Destiny.
We might be able to get a chance to ask him in person.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
So we also get, like we mentioned before, we got a new roadmap this summer. So July 17th, we're getting some stuff, right? Like some pretty interesting stuff. We're getting a brand new seasonal event called Solstice of Heroes. We're getting 6v6 quick play. So quick play is going to switch over to 6v6, which I think is a welcome change.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Rumble is coming back permanently.
Permanently.
It's always going to be there.
You know what's also exciting about that? That Rumble, I assume, is going to be its own node, right? That's the only way that it could be permanent.
Right.
Yeah.
That means that they're being more open to selecting what you want to play, maybe?
It's good.
So maybe we can see like some control selectable Clash, Rumble, and then you can have quick play with everything.
Interesting.
Yes.
Maybe we can hope.
You mean you get to play what you want to play?
Yeah, that would be a new idea that I would, be willing to try out.
I mean, you could even like maybe select, like say you were wanted to do a strike even, and you could select a strike that you wanted to play.
Oh my god.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I mean, just throwing that out there. Just choose the way you play Destiny. That's
Yeah.
an interesting concept.
Bounties coming July 17th as well. The Raid Lair Prestiges, both expansion 1 and 2, are coming with update 1.2.3. I don't know if they're going to drop on July 17th or they're going to stagger them.
Mm-hmm. They'd have to stagger them, right? For World's First?
I would think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they've dropped Prestige raids like out of the blue before.
They have, yeah.
That's true.
So they delayed them for a reason. Do you think they've actually put in new rewards to chase?
Oh, they have to have.
Yeah, you think?
They have to.
But not just
Otherwise,
armor?
what was the point in them?
There are now purple glowy bits.
Yeah, on the exact
no.
piece.
More purple cloak.
Don't do it to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the
I
gear
wouldn't
from
get your hopes up.
the gear from the Spire, I felt like should have been the Prestige armor for Edo Worlds because they kind of look similar to me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think that's
And
what
I
they
felt
did?
like Spire. Yeah, I felt like Spire should have had his own set. Something with Cabal because we did
Maybe they
fight
took
a guy. We fought Vex in Edo Worlds. I was like, all right, cool. We're fighting a Cabal. Maybe we're gonna get Cabal gear. No, we end up getting the same thing we got basically out of Edo Worlds. So
I didn't even think of that EK, but now that I look at that armor, I think you're right,
Yeah.
man. I bet that was supposed to be the Prestige armor.
armor for
Because, man, it's ornamented armor, definitely.
Yeah, it is. Yep. That's funny.
Interesting.
Wow.
I just hope that there's actually some new weapons that come with the Prestige. Because that'd be fun to chase.
That would
maybe
be
a
fun.
linear fusion rifle.
Oh,
Hopefully.
right. What is missing from Leviathan at this point? Linear fusion? Anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
I think that's it. A trace rifle. Well, it's not there.
Oh. Avoid one?
Avoid one, yeah?
PC Clan Text Chat is coming July 17th. Year 1 Triumphs, which is going to be tracked on Budgie.net, and will probably net you a shirt if you complete them for $20 or $30. And more exotic armor sandbox changes. That's actually something to look forward to because they're knocking the exotic sandbox armor. They're knocking the exotic armor sandbox changes out of the park right now. I'm looking forward to seeing more of those.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Then, in update 2.0.0, which will drop on September 4th alongside the Forsaken DLC, but you do not need to purchase the Forsaken DLC to get the benefits of update 2.0.0. We'll be getting gear collections, which we talked about earlier, in-game triumphs, weapon slot changes, weapon randomization, a mod system update, the bulk shader deletion, a new Crucible mode, and 4 new Crucible maps, which is very interesting because you're not going to have to buy the DLC you could basically buy Destiny 2 vanilla and continue to play the Crucible with all the new maps.
Yeah.
Yep.
200 additional vault slots, in-game lore,
about this.
and new bounties.
The in-game lore
means.
The in-game lore is very exciting. So it looks like what you're going to do is you're going to scan things, and then it's going to add it to this book of your lore. So after you go and get something, you can go back to your lore tab. You can actually read things in order instead of trying to paste it all together.
That sounds like a grimoire.
That'd be pretty dope. Yeah.
But in-game, an in-game grimoire.
It's so good.
Grimoire.
And then you can
track
just
your achievements
it's
and lore.
it's going to be so much easier for people to get heavily involved with the lore in Destiny.
Yeah.
You know, they can scan something, goes in their book. They can be like, "Oh, I wonder where this fits in with the story," and they can read it. It's really good. I'm excited.
I don't know what you're talking about, Watts. It's been very easy for me to learn about the in-game lore by watching YouTube videos by Sir Wallen. My name is Bife.
And Mylan. By the way, Mylan, congratulations on working with Bungie.
That is awesome.
That's huge.
He's actually one of the. He's had to leave his post as the second judge of the Slapback competition.
Oh,
is that right?
See, I thought it was the Greater Seattle Slapback. I thought he was judging the Greater Australia Slapback competition.
That's right.
I thought they're similarly named, but they're not actually associated. There's a lot of tension between the two associations.
A lot of confusion. Yeah.
A lot. I think you might have stepped in it this time, Pope.
They're a little upset. They're a little bit upset about each other because they're holding their competitions on the same time.
Oh.
And it's affecting the results of the other competition from across the globe.
Oh.
They're a little
stealing
upset
talent.
about that.
Yeah.
No, the Ricochet, the Slapback is actually reaching the other continent.
Oh my gosh.
It's messing up their rectum scale. So let's just move on.
The rectum scale, in case you missed that, guys. The
It's spelled WREKT-UM.
Yes.
Just for clarification. We don't want to be obscene here.
No.
So yeah, that's the roadmap, and I gotta say it's pretty interesting. They also started talking about how we're gonna pay for all this stuff.
Yeah.
Are we done? Well, we're jumping into that? Okay, let's do it. Here we go.
So the base price for the Forsaken DLC is gonna be, tell me if I get anything wrong here, $40.
Okay.
Correct.
Then on top of that, the annual pass will be an additional $30.
Correct.
Correct.
For a grand total of $70.
Quick maths.
Correct.
Yes. So obviously the $40 gets you the Forsaken DLC. The $30 will get you access to basically the seasons of Destiny, right? The annual pass, 3 premium content releases. They've been very clear about not calling these DLCs.
Yep.
They're stepping away in year 2 of providing like big story drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be more stuff that
Focus on the end game.
focuses on endgame, focuses on player experience. It's very costly, and it takes a lot of time and effort to make all these cutscenes and these big story things. And theoretically, hopefully, by focusing on the other stuff, that stuff will be better. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, $30 for a year's worth of content, 3 premium content releases, plus you'll also have the seasons in there. That stuff will not be.
Yeah, that's important right there.
Anybody who owns Forsaken will get access to seasonal events, Dawning, Crimson Days.
Actually, anybody who owns Destiny Vanilla, Destiny 2 Vanilla.
Yeah, my bad.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah.
They'll get access to the seasonal stuff like Dawning, like those kind of seasonal events, and presumably the patches too. So as the game continues to get patched, it'll continue to patch Destiny Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
But the annual pass will give you more pinnacle activities, more weapons and armor to earn, new and returning exotics, more endgame challenges, more raid lairs, unique vanity rewards, more triumphs to collect, and more lore to discover.
Yep. I honestly think this is a fantastic approach, assuming it is executed like how we think it's going to be in terms of less story content. Like, it takes a lot of money and time and man hours to make a new NPC that's going to present cinematic content to you, to lay down a foundation for a whole new story to go take on, when ultimately you end up spending the majority of your time grinding escalation protocol and strikes. They're talking about adding more things that are end game activities, like maybe more escalation protocols or types of that nature, and then the rewards that we want to chase after, because we want more weapons, we want more armor, we want more exotics, we want all those things. So why not have all that effort and energy focused on those cool things that we want to go after and chase? And that's what it sounds like to me that they're doing in this. Obviously, we need more information, see how big these drops are going to be. And I think anybody who wants to hold off on the annual pass right now is smart. Absolutely. Wait for them to sell it to you in a sense that, like, yeah, this is the content that's going to be in there. But I think it's a better approach for them. I really do. I think it's better.
I think it's a better approach for Destiny. 100%. You know, I play their story in like an hour, and I'm done. And I'm like, okay, it was kind of pretty.
And you never engage with that content again, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
I would much more focus on endgame stuff, more things for me to pursue, making the raid layers amazing, giving us more armor and weapons in the raid layer, all that stuff. I would much more well, they still said there's going to be story. Like, it's not like you're going to load up and be like, nothing's happening. Yes.
But like the story's going to be in like the lore stuff
the
that
theme.
you find.
They're setting the theme.
Yeah.
They're setting each DLC that comes out that's not a DLC. It will give you a theme for what that season is going to be.
I would expect there, like, you know, when you're flying in and you hear like the conversation and like kind of mid mission, you hear some stuff. Like, I would expect some of that. Like, I don't know, maybe even less. Like, maybe you get a couple of strikes that have that kind of stuff in it. But the rest of it is really going to be like attached to weapons, attached to armor, attached to those little scannables that you find around. But now you're going to be able to track that stuff on the lore tab of your.
Well, they said in-game activities, new pursuits and in-game activities like that.
Yep.
That sounds like quest lines and things like strikes and escalation protocol type of events. Like the
I do want the story to progress, though. You know, like I do want the story to progress. I want this universe to explain what's going on to me a little bit. So I do want that stuff to be relatively
maybe
evident.
They'll tell it through the endgame activities. You know,
Right.
maybe you'll get stuff from the endgame activities.
That's something I found really fun about the raid and the raid layers this time around is that we kind of progressed through this raid with Callus. You know, and kind of got a story as we went. It took a year to get there. Not a year, but like 9 months to kind of get the final chapter of the Callus story, if we've even gotten it yet.
And I totally understand people not wanting to pre-order Forsaken and pre-order an annual pass, and you don't need to.
Totally.
You know, you can wait for the reviews of Forsaken and see if that's something that you're interested in. If you then decide to delve into Forsaken, you have 3 months until the first content drop of that annual pass. That's right. It comes out in the winter. So
December, you would think. Winter 2018 would indicate December.
If you buy Forsaken for $40 and then you think, okay, this is something that I really like. I like where Bungie's going. Then you can go get the annual pass. You don't have to get everything at once.
Let me
absolutely do not.
Let me present a different argument to this, and I just want to touch on a couple things. One, there is a feeling by a lot of people that Bungie screwed up and they did, you know, they shipped an incomplete game and that they should be, you know, making up for that in some way, right? To their loyal fans. How are they doing that? That's something that I'm hoping that they're addressing. And I think, what do you guys say to that? I mean, how are they doing
in
that?
the patch 2.0, they're specifically addressing that already. Like if you own the vanilla game, you're getting random rolls. You're getting new PvP maps. You're getting the
new PvP modes.
Yeah, new PvP modes. You're getting those quality of life things that would change the base game of Destiny 2.
Okay, so I'm wanting to know also. Okay, so you buy this Forsaken expansion, right? I would want to hear some, and they're trying a new system for being able to fund the creation of this game, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Now let me say something here. One would argue that they tried microtransactions with Eververse in Destiny 2 at the beginning of it, and people, it didn't go over well. I would like to see some assurances that what we're seeing here is the new model, and Eververse is going the way of the dodo.
I don't think that's happening, Pope.
Or at least there's a significant change to the direction, because they're saying that they're finding a new funding structure for the game, and that with this they can create content in a reasonable way for us and fund it. If that's the case, then I want them to do some serious reworking of Eververse.
I agree.
But be upfront and public about it. It should not be the way that they're doing, because if they're changing this approach, they need to change the approach of Eververse.
A season pass plus microtransactions on Eververse feels like too much.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Pope. I don't think they're going to change it, though.
Unless
I think they're double dipping.
Unless the Eververse stuff is just straight up like we talked about, silly stuff that you wouldn't get in the game, then I'm okay with it. But yeah, if half these pursuits that are interesting to go and get end up being in like prototype engrams, then that's lame.
I agree.
Well, I just feel like they're going to be discussing this more. They said they were going to, but I just want to put it out there as somebody that was not a huge fan of microtransactions, at least the way that they handled them. I understand that they need to be able to afford to make the game.
If they were killing it, though, they would have said it. It would have been such a huge reaction.
Yeah.
It would have been a bullet point right off the bat. It would have been in the vid doc.
Yeah. Eververse is dead. Tess got a bullet.
Well, I don't think that she needs to be dead. I think, Tefty, you and Watts brought up a really good point. Make something ridiculous. Like Eververse provides, like, the hot dog eating, or the example that you guys were given.
Things that don't make sense in the universe.
Vanity, like craziness, right? Presented through Eververse. And Eververse should be something where you can go out there and find some humor in the game. Everything lore related, armor related that has to do with the game needs to be out of Eververse. It needs to be in the game. And we don't see it in the same way that we see it now. I just can't be with this model. This is a lot of money that they're asking people to pay for a game, and I understand it costs money to make a game. I get that, but it feels like they're too many hands in that. Well, then if they're continuing the microtransactions plus doing it this way,
I think they need to make sure they are very careful. I think they need to make sure they're very careful with how they approach Eververse after showing that this is their model. They need to be very careful. Because if people are like, you want me to buy this big expansion every year and then also 3 more DLCs after that, that's my money supporting your studio, right? That is how I'm paying for you guys to make new content. Eververse being a thing is totally fine, sell silly things, but you need to make sure that you are really careful with what you're putting in Eververse. Because people will be very upset.
Yeah, EK, how did you feel about the Iron Banner emote?
Iron Banner emote is like... Alright, so for someone that plays the game a lot, I probably had like 1,000 Iron Banner tokens. So if they locked that in Iron Banner to like a certain rank, I could have reached rank 100 on the first day. So it's like, boom, I got it done. Maybe if they did it something like Ornament, where someone like you had to go in Iron Banner and win something for it, it would have been pretty dope as well. Or maybe make it the random drop in the raid Spire Stars is the sitting down emote. Maybe you could have made that a random drop for playing Banner. I understand. I mean, it was a $10, $11 emote, was it?
It was 10, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh man, people will come in my chat. Oh, why would they do that? I was like, if you're a collector and you really, really want it, I mean, you just get it because they're not going to change it. Even if we tweet about it, talk about it, that's something that they probably had meetings about for a long time before putting it in there.
Do you think? Because it felt very short-sighted on them. They did all this great stuff with Warmind, and then they were like, and now here's an emote that you can only purchase. Even if, let's say you have 20,000 dust just sitting, lying around. Sorry, you can't get this emote.
That's true. I mean, they could have put it in the loophole as well for you to get.
Right.
That could have been something. Because the Prismatic Matrix, I mean, is a better upgrade. Instead of you having to buy something, you know that you might get one of those things that week in there. I mean, grinding the game, I have every ghost, every arrow, every ship from there, and I never had to buy it. I understand certain things were there for you to play the game to get. But for the people that want it right away, if you're not going to let us pick what we want, then it shouldn't be there, kind of, I think. And certain things as, like, ghosts or sparrows we used to get from raids in D1, and now it's in Eververse, which is kind of weird to me because you're like, oh, it doesn't make a big deal, but guess what? I can get that ghost and farm a lot quicker. Like, there's a ghost that gives you 10 speed. Yeah, like, I mean, there's certain ghosts that just do the star map shell. Like, I can go on any planet and see anything from 75 meters away. Like, stuff like that should be... Like, a star map shell could have been after a quest. You could have done something in-game for that. That could have gave us more content. So I understand the Eververse DLT, like, people being mad at it. Certain things shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, I agree with the EKs. The fact that there's stuff like that shell in Eververse when it could be a really good reward for doing 100 lost sectors, and all of a sudden there's a reason to do lost sectors. There's a reason to do it this week, or adventures. Maybe that's the reward for doing like all the adventures in the game, completing every adventure in the game is you get a really cool ghost. That's the problem I'm always going to have with Eververse is that as soon as you start like locking some of the loot behind Eververse in a loot-based game where I feel like there's not enough loot, like I'm always going to have a problem with Eververse. Always. It doesn't matter if it's hot dog emotes or whatever. I'm always going to have a problem with it.
What do you guys think? So it was data mined that there were going to be faction emotes, right? And we do not see those emotes. Do you think that either it just was maybe they found the data mining was wrong, or people from Bungie heard the feedback of the Iron Banner thing and were like, okay, let's not.
Personally, let's
pull back on that.
I think it was the blowback from the Iron Banner emote that they were like, let's not add that. Yep. Mm-hmm. I think the slapback hit.
Slapback there.
Slapback.
Yep. They felt it.
Can we get a judge in here to judge this slapback?
If only we knew someone who was a slapback professional.
He's a senior judge for the slapback. I think that's 100% what happened. They were like, yeah, I don't think we can do this. There's going to be a lot of upset.
And that's actually, that's good if that's what happened. Because then they're like, okay, we don't want to do that. We understand. Lesson learned.
Well, it sucks, though, too, because now they've made these emotes. Like, they put the time and the money into crafting these emotes that we're never going to see.
Do you think it's possible that when you get renown stacks and you get the thing on your back, do you think that could have been in the data mine as an emote? Like, named as an emote?
Maybe.
Wasn't it found as like a package though? An Eververse.
Oh, if it was found as a package, then that's a different thing.
That's what I assumed. Yeah. I didn't read the exact details on it, but like people said that there was an Eververse package that they data mined, and I was like, oh,
okay,
well, that's a kick in the nuts.
Okay. Oh, it was an Eververse package that was data mined.
That's what I thought. I could be wrong. Somebody check it.
It was a bundle, like bundles. The Iron Banner bundle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
and
because there's been stuff data mined out of there that's been wrong. Like we know that.
True, but this is like okay. There's Eververse. There's bundles, and now. If you pledge to Future War Cult, as you should, obviously, and then you suddenly have a package available to purchase for $10 that gives you like you lay down a flag and then boom, FWC drops from it. I'd be pretty salty about that. I'd be like, I have to pay $10 to represent FWC in the game?
See? Yeah.
Right.
After I've grinded for 15 hours to get...
That can't be a rank reward?
Yeah. Let's hope that the winning faction gets it at their it shows up after.
But then I'll be even more angry at everyone. And I don't need to. After doing the Sunshot Catalyst, I don't need to be salty towards people anymore. People coming along and killing my thrall, killing my
So the winning faction gets it from their vendor, and bam, they get it as a reward. Nobody else has it. I mean, we wanted it to matter, right?
Yeah, that would make it matter, man.
Future War Cult, you better start grinding.
Isn't the weapon supposed to matter?
Grind hard. Yeah. But people would never pick Future War Cult, and they have consistently had like the best weapons.
The best weapons. Yeah.
That's because it's Emo Central, Snooze Orbit,
True enough. There's a lot of angst in the Destiny community.
It's nice to actually see somebody caring about it, though. Even if it's playful.
Yeah. It needs to they need to have a conversation about it, and they need to be honest. And I think it's smart as a community that we are as vocal about Eververse, because I want Bungie to be extremely successful and I want them to be able to print cash. I don't mind that. Yep. I think it's amazing that they make a ton of money. That's fantastic. I do not want to have to buy an FWC emote to be able to represent. That is lame.
What if the annual pass was $60 and they killed Eververse? Like, I don't know if that math works out, but would that be worth it to you?
I'm hoping they priced the annual pass so that they didn't have to lean on Eververse. I'm hoping that this is the funding they need.
Here's the thing, though. In the industry, the tone has already been set. Microtransactions are not going away.
Right.
It's now a matter of what is going to be what is going to be in play here. And that's why we have to set we as players have to say, hey, I'm not cool with in-game items being in Eververse.
But I mean, like, some idiot is going to go out and buy the Iron Banner emote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was poker.
What's that?
Nothing.
The Iron Banner emote? Hell yeah, I bought it.
Yeah, someone bought it for me too.
I don't care. I'll tell everybody. I work a full-time job, support
You're
my
allowed to
family,
spend your money on what
and I
you want,
spend
Pope.
my money the way
fine.
I damn well want to.
No,
And
that's fine.
I saw it for sale. I wanted it. I bought it. Does it still mean that I'm critical of the system that they have in place? Hell yeah. I understand that. And is it a slightly bit hypocritical for me to go buy it? It is that too. But you know what? I like it. I drop it. And then
I will
do
say
my
the
other
axe is
remote.
definitely the wrong way around.
The axe is it's not good. The axe needed to be different. For sure.
Do you guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Don't we have more to talk about?
Did we
have more
cover
to talk
all of
about?
the TWAB?
I don't think we could have.
No, we didn't.
They talked about the Crucible Labs in the TWAB.
Yep.
What'd they say?
They're basically just saying that the first one, they really wanted to use a very simple game mode to just see if Crucible Labs actually works with matchmaking and all that stuff. So that's why they went safe with basically doubles. They did say that they're going to be doing some more competitive modes in there. They're going to be doing some more for fun modes. They kind of talked about the design process of making a new mode and how they're bringing us along with that design process now. So some things we see are never going to be seen again. Some things are going to end up being totally different. Some things will end up being in the game. So we got some clarification on why they were so safe on doubles.
Yeah. They wanted to make sure it worked.
Did you guys play any Mayhem this week? I know we've been pretty busy.
I did it
like
for
2
my
games, I
Catalyst.
think.
doing the Lord's work with Future War Cult, but
I did the
Mayhem
Catalyst.
is pretty crazy right now.
I played the crap out of it. It's fun. It's one of my favorite
It's pretty
plays.
crazy. Like the increased charge rate on supers in Mayhem.
Yeah.
It's fucking
great.
insane.
It's so much fun.
I felt like
You
Mayhem.
literally
I
have a super all the time.
Yeah. And I played a Titan 2 ways. Hammer Titans are my favorite when I want to do aggressive. And if I feel like in a trolling mood, which it's probably about 50% of the time, I do
Probably more.
The No Fun Police Titan with armamentarium, 2 grenades.
You also bring tractor cannon.
Track
Yes.
Cannon with you.
Try to
you go.
can is so much
It
fun.
is possibly the most fun you could possibly have in a video game.
beautiful
It's
gun.
just seeing a hunter come around the corner.
Exactly.
stop.
When that striker is just like sprinting around that corner, sees you, he's like got like bloodlust in his eye, and you're just like, boop. And he doesn't die, but you can
He's
almost
confused.
see the shock in his
Yeah,
face.
you can.
He's just like,
It's true.
what happened? Things were going so well.
I was about to kill you. Things were good.
I played 3 games of Mayhem because I was doing the Catalyst for the Lance, the Polaris Lance. Oh my god!
Yeah, make
it's
sure
so
you're
good.
talking about that Lance.
It's
not
so
the other
explosive.
No,
Lance.
not the other Lance. The
No.
Polaris Lance,
No.
the true Lance, is phenomenal.
Yes.
If anybody's having trouble getting the perfect 5th kills, supposedly it's bugged. It's not supposed to be this way. At least I've heard that you have to have the burnout actually kill the enemies. So you have to burn out essentially 50 enemies. Best way to do this: go to the raid courtyard, the Castellium, whatever it's called. Set it up so trigger it so the enemies start respawning. Have 2 of those phalanx shields spawn. You pop the shield twice, pop the other shield twice, and then you have a full charge bullet. You shoot that on 1 full health Legionnaire, and they will make sure you get a crit. They will burn out and die. Make sure you don't also have the raid gear that increases your energy weapon. Otherwise, you'll be like, why are these guys dying so quickly? That's why. Make sure that's not happening. But yeah, that's how I
you
got
gotta
it done.
get 50 of those kills.
Yeah.
Like that.
You can knock-
It's got to be the burn that kills them.
Has to be the burn. You can knock it out in like
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes in the raid right there by yourself.
Yeah, it's super boring to do. Like, it's super tedious, but it's only 10 or 15 minutes as opposed to the hours it would take you if you're trying to do it naturally.
Yep.
And then you get the added satisfaction of seeing about 700 helmets laying on the ground. Just like littered. There's just like heads just
Basically.
littered across the ground when you're done.
Oh my god. That gun is so good.
It is so good.
It's
It's really something special, man. I wish I had it. You remember when we were doing Oryx? And like it was just that raid felt like it was Scout Rifle Central. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this gun would have come in handy. That having Firefly in every bullet is amazing. Having basically magic bullets that are refunded into your magazine
Space
on every
magic.
crit is amazing. Mm-hmm. And then that fourth, more powerful explodey shot, it's just icing on the cake.
It really is.
It's so fucking good.
What's the best gun to take into Escalation Protocol right now? Is it
Boob cannon.
the Lance, or is it what's the best exotic? I mean, if you're going to build a team around to go level 7
boop
Escalation
cannon.
Protocol,
Boop cannon
what
and
have
Nova
you been
bombs.
doing, EK?
Okay. Depends on the boss. First week boss, you have to get ads around them. Well, basically off of them. If you have 2 guys with tractor cannon and they're hunters, you can tether. And then,
Easy
the
peasy,
boop,
right?
easy peasy. Linear fusion rifles do a lot of damage,
They do.
especially if the crit is wide open. And linear fusion rifles with tractor cannon probably do the highest DPS. I mean, the only drawback is the time to charge it. But I found the Crooked Fang. It has I forgot the exact name of the perk. Whenever you switch from any weapon to the Crooked Fang, you're able to basically shoot 2 really quick. And it is the only linear fusion rifle that can hold 5 as well. So, I mean, if you don't have a Warlock sitting around with Lunafaction boots, you can do a lot of damage with tractor cannon linear fusion rifles. I mean, they did a lot of good work when it came to linears because I never used it before. But now, if there's no way for me to physically touch the boss where I'm using the shotgun from the EP, I have a linear fusion rifle running around, and they hit really hard.
Yeah.
So
They do.
Is it bugged, you think?
no, I mean they gave it an update. It was it's supposed to do 2 times the damage
buffed
at
it
first.
twice,
Yeah,
right?
they buffed it twice. Yeah.
They buffed it twice. But is it just for
Yeah.
Escalation Protocol that this is happening? Or is it actually everywhere now that linear fusion rifles...
Oh, it's everywhere. Like, if you run a Nightfall with heavyweight, and it's a boss that you can't really go up to, let's say the Worm God, the linear fusion rifles do a lot of damage.
better than Darcy?
Yeah.
Huh. Because I saw that Reddit post, and I thought it was just about Escalation Protocol. I was like, that's weird. Darcy's doing 14,000 or 12,000, whatever, and then linear fusion rifle is topping out at 24, 25,000. I was like, damn.
Yeah, the only thing is the
Darcy, you can fire so fast.
Yeah, the fire rate is so quick, and with Lunafaction boots, you're good to go. But if you're not time gated, then like I said, linear fusion rifles definitely win.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Even this week's boss, you can basically do the same thing because he has no shields. The only thing you have to do is kill the battery acolytes, so you're good to go as well.
I haven't done anything except for grind for the God's Lance and the FWC. So I haven't done the Escalation Protocol this week.
I've just
Gotta
sat
get
in
in
a lost sector for 8 hours, basically.
Yeah. So let's talk about faction rallies a little bit. What do you guys think about the faction rally and the new system? With the, you're getting the stacks. You're doing less damage once you have the stacks. You're more susceptible to getting killed. So when you go into a lost sector, especially if you're doing it solo, some of those things can be pretty dangerous. Some of them are pretty easy still, but some of them can be pretty dangerous. What do you guys?
Yeah,
is this a more interesting faction rally? Is it?
How do you feel about it?
Is it still kind of boring?
I feel like, so basically Renown, when you have it, it stacks up. I mean, we have a modifier in game that's called attrition. So it drops wells of light whenever you kill an ad, but you take in more damage. I feel like Bungie should have been a little more clear, okay, you have Renown, that means that attrition is live, something that shows on the screen that lets people know. Because there were friends that I was playing with, they didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh man, my life is not coming back. Oh, what's that on the floor? I feel like they could have been more visual about it. Okay,
right.
You have Renown, now you're getting a harder hits coming in. You have to play a little bit safer. But I mean, it's fun. It makes the game a little bit harder. But then that being said, there's certain lost sectors that are a lot easier than others as well.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the planets aren't that balanced when it comes to public events. Because Mercury, if you do 1 heroic, you have 4. If you have the full set on, you have 5. There's
only one public event every 7 hours or so.
Yeah, but then Mercury has the Vex as well, the Rings of Vex. So if you have a full gear on you, every time you open the chest, you get 2. So there's 3 of them. Boom, you're done already. I mean, it kind of works out, but it's not that perfect. If you go on Earths, most of the lost sectors are pretty easy. I say there's not that many that are like harder than others, but there's some simple ones. Like Mercury, you can easily just go in there and clean up.
There's like 15 enemies and you're done.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the starter lost sector.
It's like welcome to Lost Sector.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got into a loop on Titan today where we went into the lost sector that's kind of, it's like over on the side of the thing, over by where Zur hangs out on Titan, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was real easy. There's an ogre that goes in there. You kill the ogre real quick. You don't even worry about the rest of the ads. You run past them, open the chest, and if they kill you, it doesn't matter. It's too late. You've already got your loot. And then as soon as you spawned out of there was another public event just starting. And we'd always just get a patrol near that public event. So like we were literally just going public event, lost sector, and it was working out perfectly. Every time we were done with the lost sector, there was a new one starting on Titan. It was like so fast.
Nice.
And we're getting full stacks every time. Yeah.
I still feel like
the only thing
some
holding us
lost
up is that
sectors,
sometimes we had to wait 2 or 3 minutes for the public event to start.
some lost sectors should be more rewarding, I think. Because some have more ads, like I said.
They're not all created equally, for sure.
No.
Yeah,
The other one on Titan that's like right by this one we were doing is super hard. There's exploding thralls. The main boss fight is in a dark area. You can't hardly see anything. It's super dangerous.
Yeah, so like, for example, like if you finish that one, you should get 15 as to where you would get 10 if you did an easier one. They should have taken that into consideration as well.
You know,
I gotta say though, I like
think
this system.
Yeah, I think the system is.
I like it a lot better.
It's a big step in the right direction for sure, because it creates like a sense of I don't want to die. There's a little risk reward type of thing going on. But I 100% agree. They're not all created equal, and I'd like to see more modifiers in there to up the stakes even higher. Because it'd be cool, like, you kill the boss, you pop the chest. That's one thing. What if you got a bonus for clearing out all the ads in the layer? Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Another stack right there.
What about those packages that are just hanging out there now?
Yeah.
They're totally unused.
I was really disappointed that they didn't fix that. I was like, okay, so they had an issue with people farming those. Now would be a perfect time. Like, let's say there's a chance that you get nothing from it. Let's say there's a chance that you get 3 of them from it. So I would pop them every time. It'd be like, oh, I got nothing, got 1, got nothing. Boom, I got a stack of 3. That was cool. That was worth it.
Pretty sure they're just there to kill you now.
Yeah, exactly. If you use the boot cannon, yikes. The boot cannon will kill you easily in some of those areas. It would also be cool if there was some sort of like triggers that could happen, whether they were in the lost sector or somewhere else, to also stack on this. To like maybe add a modifier when you flip a switch as you go in there to do even more difficult stuff. Maybe
make it heroic.
Yeah.
So like you go in there and you have a chance of making it heroic, just like how you make a public event heroic.
That would be awesome.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
I mean, I have a few friends that only play PvP. My friend Drew complained about only getting 2 tokens by playing every match. And it's like, if you're gonna go Crucible because that's what you do all day long, you should at least get 5 to 10. Like, I mean, the same amount that it takes you to get the renown and go in the lost sector.
Yeah.
I mean, Crucible matches last about that long. Sometimes matchmaking takes longer than that. So like, you should be earning more. I feel like they kind of forgot about that portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they really they laser focused on this like lost sector public event loop, and that's the loop for doing it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if other activities would get you more points, but like they really focused in on this one kind of loop.
Yeah. And I like that they're making lost sectors mean something. I think that's good. Because I didn't even realize some lost sectors don't show up on the map. Do you know that?
I didn't know that either. Yeah. Is that true?
It's true. Some of them just straight up are not on the map. And I was like, I thought there was a lost sector here. Maybe it's, that's weird. And then people are like, no, it's just not on the map. I'm like, what? Was that?
You're like, what do you mean?
The signs are far away too sometimes. You'll see a sign and you'll still not know where to go.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, oh, yeah, there is one in the Tangle. Yet it's not on the map. Huh. I feel like I visited lost sectors I haven't been to yet in the game.
Oh yeah, I got lost in lost sectors.
Yeah.
Can't confirm.
I will say this though. The next time they plan any kind of an event and the solstice thing is coming up, please don't focus on public events. Like, I'm done with public events. Like, we've done a lot of public events in year one. Okay? Let's do some strikes. Make something strike focused. How about that? Make something Crucible focused. But please, leave public events out of it next time.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining this time, but next time I will.
I still don't think like the normal strikes in the playlist is no one's really gonna play it. Yeah. I feel like if they gave us like a D1 feel, like when you go into a normal strike playlist, you can pick what strike you want to play. It would it's like people will do it more. You know, because like what if you want to go back and like replay a certain strike? You can't. You have to go back in the loop. Especially as it is crashed, everyone backs out of that strike. So I mean, oh my god. Yeah, they took it out finally, but it's just
shame, right?
Too bad.
I wonder why we didn't see adventures be part of this faction
rally. That would have been sweet.
That would have been
cool.
Adventures are cool too.
Like go to the NPC that's on the planet and you buy a faction rally adventure from them.
Yes.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I like it.
Cool. And then it's
maybe you got Lakshmi out there, you know?
Maybe it's a heroic version of the adventure. And it's worth like 25 to get if you get through it.
Yeah, because they're only like once a week or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, it could be part of your weekly grind to get that heroic on every planet.
Yeah, with a big payout if you did all of them.
Yeah, you hit up all the planets, and then your vendor guy. It's one of your powerful rewards with a faded engram or not a faded, but a illuminated.
Yeah, use this content. Put some loot behind it. Put some.
I would say even going back to strikes, I understand like right now catalysts and certain things are in there, but I feel like if there was another incentive, like if you're able to knock out 2 for the price of 1, like if throwing these many strikes, if I was able to get like a certain gun or a certain gear or something out of there, like another incentive, it will keep people going. I have friends that are playing with like, oh man, I'm getting bored of this. I don't want to do this anymore because there's nothing to go after besides a catalyst. If there were like, I mean, yes, D1 we had weapons that we can farm. If we had something like that, it would make people go in there. Because like now it's like I don't really have to play strikes anymore. I have all 5 catalysts. What's the point of me playing?
Right.
There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
Just like you said for the faction rally, maybe strikes could have been another thing.
I'm really hoping that's part of the horizontal progression that they're talking about, though, when it comes to like both bounties and also masterwork weapons in 2.0. I'm really hoping that there's a lot of things like, let's say you masterwork a Better Devils. The first part is get 100 kills. Second part is like complete 10 strikes. And then whatever beyond that, and it helps unlock those mod systems. Obviously, pure speculation on this stuff, but that's what I'm hoping to see. Like, we need a lot more of that horizontal progression for our loot in the end game, and I feel like they know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to see. I'm hoping that we see substantial changes to the way that this goes in September, right?
Yeah.
And that this faction rally is just what they could, the low hanging fruit that they could accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see it grow and expand. Like you said, like the adventures, heroic adventures, or faction rally adventures being part of it. More modifiers, more things to do in the lost sectors. I really like the fact that I'm going to lost sectors. That's been really cool.
They're cool too.
Yeah.
Like lost sectors are cool spaces in the game.
I've never been to a lot of them. It turns out.
Same, man. Same. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was right here.
I think it would be fun to pit some of the factions against each other, and say you're dedicated to Future War Cult, right? And your friend is dedicated to some other one of them, whichever one.
Doesn't
no
matter.
Friend of mine, regardless. That is no friend of mine.
Yeah, we don't talk about the
your
others.
Planet, your flashpoint for your faction rally is Earth, and theirs is Venus, and you gain tokens for your faction if you work off of Earth, but then you take away from the other factions if you go to their planet and take their resources, right? And so there's a negative to that. You can go there and you count against them. I think pitting us against each other is it's an interesting way. I think they can expand on it and grow it and make it more engaging.
How would you do that to Dead Orbit, though? Because they have nothing and they're leaving. Facts.
Man.
Can they just leave already? Like,
Yeah,
Nobody wants you
seriously,
here.
if
You don't want
Get
to be
outta
here.
here.
We don't want you here.
You know what? Some of the most annoying people that are just like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, just go. And they're like, no, but
You don't have
seriously,
to
I'm
write me
gonna
a
leave.
4-page fucking letter about how you're leaving. Just fucking go.
Just go. Seriously. We love you, Dead Orbit. Stay around, guys. You make cool music.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. But first, let's thank our sponsor, On Air PC. Huh?
Woo.
Pretty good.
They're good
Transition.
people.
That's pretty
What'd
good.
you think?
Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah,
smooth.
that's good.
Beautiful.
I like it.
Right?
That was professional.
I
Little
thought
too
so.
smooth.
A little too smooth. What?
Yeah.
Like, give me some tips. 3 tips. Give me off the top of your head.
More stuttering.
Yeah.
More stuttering.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought
Forget
that.
the name.
I wouldn't have guessed that one. Forget the name.
Definitely
Maybe
not
call
have
it-
the phone number ready,
Yes.
right?
Don't have the phone
Don't
number ready?
have the just as you're getting ready for it, just
You
study.
mean this phone number?
Improv.
330-850-1525. That phone number?
I'm not sure. I didn't catch
I
it.
think we need a
Twitter.
jingle. Tefty, can you give us like a little jingle
Yeah,
for
a
the
little
phone
jingle.
number? It's
We could work something.
330-850-1525. There's got to be something, right?
Oh, there's
Little-
something in there, definitely.
There's something,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
All right. On Air PC is all about helping you get started in streaming, podcasting, or gaming. Let us help you build your dreams today. Just give them a call at 330-850-1525 or get a hold of them on Twitter at OnAirPC1. These guys, look, if you're looking to become a streamer or if you're a streamer looking to upgrade your system, whether it be your gaming PC or your streaming PC, or you want to combine both PCs into one, On Air PC can help you out. Whether you want a Threadripper or a high-end Intel system, maybe you want something that's, better for just the streaming side. You don't need a big graphics card. You just want a big ass processor in there. On Air PC has the expertise to build the system that you need to get your job done. If you want a podcast system, they can build you a quiet PC that won't get picked up on your microphone all the time. These are the kinds of things that On Air PC knows about because that's what they specialize in. So if you're looking to, again, build a streaming or a gaming or a podcasting computer, give them a call, 330-850-1525, or hit them up on Twitter at OnAirPC1.
Nailed it.
Nailed it, man.
I don't know. I feel like more stuttering, definitely.
Maybe. A little bit.
All right, I got a lot of questions. So we're going to try and start off rapid fire.
Okay.
What do you guys think of that?
I don't think
Sound
I
good?
love rapid fire.
you
All right, all right.
You should know these guys. They don't know the concept of rapid fire.
That's true.
It's a bunch of
Bryce
malarkey.
asks, I get paying for both the expansion and the annual pass. However, what is your opinion on requiring players to own Curse of Osiris and the Warmind in order to play Forsaken?
We didn't talk about this.
What if players didn't want to pay for those DLCs and still don't?
Okay, so I think that they're actually going to introduce a package, like a $60, if you don't own the Destiny yet, like you get Forsaken, a D2, Year 1 in one package, but it hasn't been announced yet. I think they're going to talk about that either at E3 or in July at some time.
I think the answer to Bryce's question is you're fucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't want
that's
to
true.
buy Curse of Osiris or Warmind, but you do want to buy Forsaken, I think you're fucked. I think you're going to have to.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to force you to. So
All we can do is
probably
hope that they bring out a good package.
Exactly.
Yeah, the best deal will be like a year 2 special edition that's $60, right? Like an all-inclusive edition that's $60 that includes Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and Forsaken, which I think would be a fair price, right? $60 for all of that.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be your best bet at that point.
But no, Briar, it should
But
be
I feel your
free.
price.
It should be free, man.
Look, free is my favorite price. So you're preaching to the choir here.
I would also like to pay my mortgage for free. That'd be dope.
Hell, I would pay
Car
your
for
mortgage
free?
too for free.
I like free
Oh, thanks,
groceries,
Briar.
free electricity,
Free
free
pizza.
water, everything.
Free
Everything's
pizza
free.
is my favorite kind of pizza.
That is a good pizza.
Pineapple?
Yeah,
Always pineapple.
Always. Hell yeah.
I'll take it. Toby says, with so much of what we wanted coming in September, realistically, do you think Bungie will overhaul Eververse a bit? Thanks for the great show. Makes my Friday commute fantastic. I don't think they're going to do anything to
about it.
Eververse. I think
Talked about it a
Eververse
little
is
bit, yeah.
They just have to be careful.
They gotta tread carefully with Eververse. Come Forsaken.
And
Fernan Zoe says, do you guys think that the last word or any Fanfire hand can will make it to the Forsaken expansion?
Has to.
It's
Or
got
it's
to,
not
right?
worth the $40.
Yeah.
With the Western theme,
I'm gonna get a refund.
the last word is got to
Has
be in
to.
there.
Some kind of fanfire. Something.
Yeah. What was the Tex Mechanica shotgun too? The lever action slug shotgun?
Chaperone.
Oh, yeah.
Chaperone. That's got to be in there too. I think
I
all the
just like
Tex
the whip
Mechanica
sound
stuff
that
has
came
to
with it.
come.
Yeah, all of
Yep.
them are like cowboy style stuff. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. What'd you say, Pope?
said I personally I like the whip sound when you reload.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was cool.
awesome.
I mean,
I would
some
like.
of the
I saw
creativity
somebody
of it.
talking about a lever action rifle. I thought that'd be a really cool addition for Destiny. Like maybe
Land
that's
Beyond?
our No Land Beyond kind of a thing. Is like a lever
fits
action. No,
too.
remember like the rifleman, man, where you cock it by like pushing down on the lever and pulling back up, like under the barrel in the stock.
Oh,
see that?
like this instead of like this.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That'd be interesting.
That's bolt action.
Yeah, bolt action versus lever action. Okay, that makes sense. Like
I think that'd be cool. Like really go deep on that Tex Mechanica stuff.
It
for
could be
this
a
DLC.
slug shot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
like the chaperone.
Could be.
I think one of the guns that came in Warmind animation wise I like is the Huckleberry. I kind of like just like
Huckleberry,
the reload.
yeah.
Yeah, the reload on it. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Even the sight.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
yet to get
Tex
it.
Mechana, man. They make all the cool looking, sounding,
They do, man.
reloading guns.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have yet to get the freaking Huckleberry. I proclaim
Really?
Oh,
Chuckleberry
man.
every time I open Engram, and I will not buy the Great Value Walmart Engram from Zur. Screw that noise. I want it to drop normally. Okay.
Where does the catalyst drop for Huckleberry?
Heroic Adventures.
Heroic Adventures?
I got it on
Yep.
my first one. It was pretty
Alright.
nice.
Nice.
Of course you
I
did.
thought it was.
Okay.
I thought it was part of the game and that it dropped with that adventure, and it was just. I found out that it's random drop. So I'm sorry about that.
Whatever.
It's nice.
Matt Muggy says, is the Faction
It's really
Rally
nice.
Renown token system a good idea? I personally like the loop of charging up Renown and then going to a lost sector, but I've heard other opinions. Would love to hear your thoughts. I like it because it adds difficulty to the game, and there's a little bit of strategy as to like how and when to pick up patrols and like when to get that Renown stack, right? Because the perfect situation would be like to get into a public event and then get a patrol that kills things in that public event.
Yep.
So
Right.
that both those things are completed at the same time. But even better would be if they drop things that I cannot pick up until I've killed the boss so that I don't do less damage to the boss in the public event
True.
and can damage him more. So like the perfect scenario would be that. But I like it because it adds more difficulty to the lost sector and the public event, and it adds a little bit of strategy.
Yeah. Agreed. I like it.
But there's more they could do. Matt Monkey says, is the Faction Rally Renown... I'm sorry, never mind. He didn't say shit. Cleet says, the Catalyst grind for Faction Rallies seem to be separating the hardcore and casual players' rewards. Do you think this is fair? Or should there be more forgiveness for a timed event with limited access to the content?
I'm assuming that these Catalyst rewards are going to flop over into Forsaken as well. So if it takes you 6 months to grind out all 3 factions, there's a grind for you. That's okay. It's not going to make the Graviton Lance suddenly like 2 Graviton Lance shooting at once. Like it's just making it a little bit better for people. And the Sunshot is amazing, and you all should have pledged for Future War Call because it's a god tier weapon that is
you
actually
made a
game
huge
Honestly,
mistake if
it
you're
is-
going for the Graviton Lance, frankly.
Honestly, it is the most rewarding gun I think I've ever used in Destiny when you are exploding Thrall or Shanks or whatever, and it's just pew, 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 and then orbs. Oh my gosh. It is so good.
You're telling me
It's
the
so
Sunshot's
good.
amazing. What?
It's so good.
And you get
Did you guys see
you
the
get that for
video
Future War
that...
Cult, right?
Yes.
Wait,
Confirmed.
who was that?
Future War Cult.
The Sunshot.
Future War Cult.
Future War Cult?
The
Interesting.
catalyst to make it even better. When you have you fully catalyzed it?
Yep.
How much better was it?
Oh, it's noticeable. The range especially is you can hit things from not just right in front of you. It's great.
I'm
There's
assuming
a back of the box quote for the Sunshot. This 5,000 watts says noticeable.
I'm assuming the Graviton Lance.
Do you like explosions?
Yeah.
Because it's like watching popcorn. You shoot Thrall, you're literally watching popcorn if
Yes.
popcorn had fireworks.
Did you guys see the video True Vanguard put out about this thing? He basically shot it at a Thrall, and there's just like kind of endless Thralls coming out of the same door. So the explosion of the first Thrall was triggering it on the next Thrall, which was triggering it on the next Thrall. It was
It's
just
amazing.
like this endless loop that just kept going. It was amazing.
It's beautiful.
And the explosion only comes with the catalyst?
No.
No.
No. The gun already
The range
has
and
it.
stability, an insane amount of range and stability.
Okay, so
Right.
I was
What's good
kinda
on a
thinking
hand
of, like,
cannon? Range
Range
is good
and
on a hand
stability.
cannon.
All right. Well, I was
Yeah.
just thinking about like, some of the catalysts seem like they really like do something to the gun.
What?
Others.
What?
This
what
really
perk
does.
on a hand cannon do you want most, Pope?
I want them not to
Range
suck on
and
console.
stability.
Is what I want.
Well, all right. That's a good wish. But like,
Right.
if you could have any stat on a hand cannon, what's the one stat that you want the most?
The no suck stat.
Range and stability, literally. That's what it
Range and
is.
stability.
That's range.
That's literally the
Yeah.
no suck stat. Like, it is. This
literally
hand
is.
cannon, when it's masterworked, has the most range and stability by far than any other hand cannon in the game.
Okay.
and
Well, if
it's
they-
that
if it
150
makes it not
RPM
suck,
that's really good in the Crucible,
I'm down.
and it explodes shit all over the place.
Yeah.
I got a triple kill in the Crucible today with the explosions.
You don't say.
Here's the thing, though,
And you're
like,
pledged
you
to
guys-
future war call. Interesting.
Yeah.
Future war cult, you say?
Interesting.
Interesting.
I want it, and I pledged to future world gold, and I'm grinding towards it. But
Good job,
at the
Pope.
rate that I play, I'm barely at like rank 10.
Oh, you got plenty of time,
Plenty
man.
of time,
It's
man.
only
Yeah.
Not till Monday.
Friday,
plenty of
Saturday,
time.
Sunday, Monday, most of Tuesday.
I mean, how many characters do you have, Hope?
3.
Yeah, each day you get I get what 26 or something like that from the
Yeah,
faction
okay,
packages
you're not.
as
You're,
well?
you're misunderstanding. Like, I don't have time to. It's not about like access to the coins. It's about time to play. So I
Well,
got.
that's fine
maybe
because it'll
an
still be
hour
there
or
in the
two.
next faction rally. There's going to be 3
Exactly.
faction rallies this
Right.
season.
Right. I'm asking questions as to like, should I keep this grind? Should I move over maybe to the another faction? Next
Whoa,
faction?
let's not make any rash decisions here, Pope.
Watts tells me it's range and stability.
You started
and I'm
off
like,
making good
that's not very
decisions. You went
sexy.
with the right decision right off the bat with Future War Cult. Let's not mess anything up now midstream.
Yeah, the only thing that's different about the Graviton Lance is that it's going to make orbs. That's it. It's already a sticky gun.
Yeah.
The bullet perk already makes it have crap loads of range. Doesn't really matter. Sunshot's a
Okay.
game changer.
All right.
And
Well,
I don't
I'm
even
there.
remember
I'll see
what
you
the
guys
one
in
is from
3
New
faction
Monarchy.
Rallies. I'll
Nobody
have
cares
it.
about New Monarchy.
Nobody gives a shit about New Monarchy.
Yeah.
I'm just
Mr.
going to do an
Goodbite
account
says-
recovery for somebody to get my catalyst for me. That's what I'll do.
Right?
There you go. That's what they need to be charging for. Faction grinding.
Yes.
Mr. Goodbite says, now that so many of the Destiny community's complaints are being addressed, will the toxicity die down?
I'm sorry. That's a really good question.
I think Pope
I
answered
pose
it.
another question to you. Will people on the internet have empathy for others? in
Here's
the
another
next-
question. Why does Dead Orbit, those emo sons of the bitches, those angsty bastards always win? Because there's the
Because
most
of
them.
Deej.
Chris
Yeah, no, yes,
Lignan says, knowing that the raid is in the Dreaming City and the new annual system with its 3 content drops, would you like to see the raid layers in the Dreaming City or in different places?
I'm personally looking forward to being the Dreaming City. I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it too. It's, if they're saying that raiders change the Dreaming City and then the raid lair, I assume, may further change the Dreaming City, I think that's a really exciting concept.
Yeah, because they said there was a lot to the Dreaming City. There's going to be doors that we never opened before, and I feel like maybe they'll even make it to where we have to find the raid lair in the Dreaming City. So,
That would be amazing.
yeah, imagine how
That's
many doors
cool.
and portals are in there. Yeah, so who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
What if
I liked the way the raid layer system worked in year one here. How we had this continuous journey through the Leviathan with Callus. I thought it was cool. Like I was looking forward to the second raid layer to see how that would go.
Yeah.
What if you show up to the Dreaming City? You can queue up in the space to go into the raid layer that's off.
Maybe
of it.
that's why they have an end game location.
Maybe. Maybe it's match made.
Ooh, looking for
I do
a
have
raid.
a question. Does anybody understand the lore better than I do, or should I be asking Mylon or somebody else this?
Probably.
What is the
You could
deal with
try us.
Callus right now? What is our relationship with Callus right now?
He's our daddy.
Yeah.
We've essentially gone on this journey where we are. He wants us to be his hitman. He's gone around the galaxy collecting essentially bounty hunters, and we've passed the test, and he wants us to be a part of that. And we have this rocky relationship where we're getting these cool weapons and stuff, but that's what he wants out of it.
Yeah.
He wants us to.
So
go
he's
do
sticking
stuff.
around. Like he's not leaving.
His story definitely ain't done. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure, right?
Yeah.
He ain't worried about anything. He's got the darkness. He knows where the darkness. He's got the hookups.
I mean,
He-
we're
he
gonna
wants
go
to
fight
eat
those
our-
barons.
He's got
Maybe
that purple
those barons
all over the place.
are on
he's got-
Callus's hit list.
Not worried about us. If we don't join his side, he's just going to eat us.
Yeah.
Justin asks if you could change one catalyst, which one and what would you do? One catalyst, what would you do?
I mean, I don't have them all, so this is maybe a question for EK.
Oh man, not sure. There's a lot of different guns. Maybe the Warcliffe. I mean, because it has improved tracking, but I feel like they could have done something better with it. Like, have you guys ever seen like the big Cabal Centaurs with the machine guns and they shoot the flares that go track you? Maybe something that like blinds as it hits as well would have been a better
interesting.
thing for a Warcliffe.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
dude,
I like that
love
idea.
Yeah. So, or maybe like Cohart. If you go in a raid, those big guys have Coharts on, but their gun shoots fast at you constantly. Maybe do something where like you have to constantly hip fire the Cohart, but it shoots as fast as possible to do damage.
That's
Something like that.
Interesting.
Because because you look at those guns, they look just like Coharts to me.
Hey,
Yeah,
Something.
they do.
you know what
Yeah.
else they could have done with Cold Heart? They've got the freezing technology now for when you get hit by a cold thrall.
Slow
Right?
people?
Yeah,
That'd
slow
be
people
hilarious.
down. As you the more shots you can slow down. Yeah, there's a lot to
Or
it.
enemies.
Imagine
slows the enemies
freezing
down.
people in PvP.
Cold Heart doesn't have a catalyst yet, right?
It does.
does it?
It does, yeah.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What's it do?
Like stability, right?
Yeah, you get more stability and more
That
handling.
thing is literally a laser beam. It needed more
Yeah.
stability?
Oh no, Merciless is insane. The range that they added to that
Did
thing
it?
is nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Or maybe
Merciless is
Yeah.
the one that I want, honestly.
yeah. I think Jade Rabbit could have something to do with maybe speed or movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called the Jade Rabbit. I mean, I don't know. They named the guns really well, and they can give us some crazy perks on it. They just don't.
Yeah. Now, I know that we just spent like 20 minutes talking about how good the Sunshot Catalyst is, but good Lord, would I like one
The
or two
mag?
extra bullets in that magazine?
Oh yeah.
That would change the game for that gun.
10
Yeah.
would be perfect. 10 or
Yeah.
11 would be perfect. Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I'll get it eventually.
I feel like the 8 shots go away really quick.
They do.
Really quick.
They
yeah.
go quick. Like you really want to get some reload mods going when you're using that
Yeah.
thing.
I'm loving the new
Okay.
ornament for it as well. I feel like the gun
I want
should have
that.
looked
The
like
rock
that.
one?
Yeah, I feel like that's what the gun should have looked like from the beginning, and then the other two could have been the ornaments. Looks really nice. Yeah.
Kenneth Rodriguez says, how different would Forsaken have been without the input Bungie received from everyone at the summit? So you guys were at the summit. Like, how different would it have been? Can you guys even talk about that?
Hard to say,
know.
right? They've been working on it for a while. I'm sure feedback from everyone kind of went into some of it, but I think they learned very quickly when Destiny 2 came out that things were not what people wanted. And that was not the right direction for Destiny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. Kind of hard to say.
I think they got I think we saw some pivots, some hard pivots at the summit
True.
on specific issues.
Yeah.
And I think those were really important issues that people are seeing them being announced right now and having people react to them positively. Knowing what the counterpoint to those would have been, I can definitely say that there was some, there were some directions that I think that it's really awesome that they went that direction. Yeah. So I think it mattered. I think it mattered that not just symbolically, like that the community saw us go up there, but also practically, like in the decision making process. They didn't just. It wasn't just them pretending like they were listening to us. So it felt good.
Deuce just says, after seeing the Forsaken reveal, does any of the new supers have you on the ropes about maining other classes?
I really want to do Goku. Oh. I honestly would consider doing Warlock just for that super.
Honestly, no. I mean, playing Hunter with those fire knives and melee Night Stalker. Yeah. Shadow
I'm really
Hunter,
interested to see how those fire knives are going to work out, Watts. Like, what exactly they're going to do.
Well, yeah, I can't wait.
I guess it depends on whether I'm doing PvP or PvE, because I've seen, like, I don't know, I feel like some could just work differently now. People are going to look at it differently. Just like how the Luna faction kind of changed it, where no one really needs a time with a barricade anymore. You can just go in there with boots. And you don't have to worry about rocking yourself if you teabag.
Literally, nobody needs Titans anymore at all. Like, we might as well just kind of head on to a spaceship with dead orbit and get the fuck out of here.
I mean, Melting Point, Hammers, they're very reliable still. And on PC, you can skate as well. So, I mean, like, it does have the Titan always has his spot. And
what if they give Melting Point to another like a Warlock or a Hunter?
Well, they just gave you a weapon that does the same thing.
They'd give it to a Warlock, but they would just have to, like, point at the boss and they got Melting Point. They wouldn't actually have to touch them. They would just go.
I really hope. I hope Hunter Void gets Blink.
Oh my goodness!
Changes your jump to Blink or something. I know they'd have to change like the jump thing in the bottom, but I miss Blink on my Hunter.
I'm really interested to see, not just mess around with the supers, but what are those attunements going to be? What's the neutral game going to be like for all of them?
Right.
That's what gets me excited. I'm excited to find that out.
Yeah. Evan Meyer says, with the grinding of exotic weapon catalysts, would you like to see more catalysts in the future with different stats to chase?
Yes.
So like different catalysts for each weapon, and you can like customize.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be dope.
I'd freaking love that. Different things to chase.
This is where we talked about this a few podcasts ago, where catalysts that were more centered towards PvE for a gun. And then they could lock in, that way you could have multiple versions of an exotic and want to keep them and grow them, right? And it's not just sharding them out.
Yeah.
You have one that's got these fantastical perks on it that they don't have to worry about breaking PvP on it. And it's a catalyst that's for PvE and does, I think it was the conversation where we were joking around shooting trains out of your pistol, right? That's what we're talking about. Do some crazy stuff for PvE.
Eddie the Black says, at what point do low drop rates in RNG become tedious? Warmind has introduced a grind to the game, which was sorely needed, but where do you draw the line at where it just takes too much time to obtain loot? Is it okay to have to play, say, 10 to 30 hours for a catalyst to drop?
It's okay for everyone to not get everything.
Yep.
Well, I agree with Watts.
Yeah, for someone that did all the strike catalysts, I feel like the drop rate could have been a little bit higher. I don't know. It was a lot of strikes, so I'm not sure.
There is a progression of loot, right? The catalysts are at the very pinnacle of the loot table. You are making a small adjustment to how good an exotic gun is that you got very easily, right? So, like, you're getting most of the benefit of an exotic weapon, which is very easy for anybody to grind and to get. You can even buy it from Xur if it comes around. and then you're making a very small adjustment to it, but to get that the very pinnacle, you do have to put in a lot of time. But there's got to be rewards for people who don't have a lot of time, and there's exotics for them. And people who do have a lot of time but still want to be motivated to play, there's catalysts for them. I think it's a good system. It rewards everybody right now.
I think there's a way of introducing. So the RNG has always been part of Destiny, and I really like it. And I'm not suggesting that it change. And some of these hours that are being put in by EK to get the catalyst, I'm with you on that. That could be dialed back a little bit. But I agree with Watts. Not everybody should be able to get everything. But there's a happy medium, Briar, that I think the average player might respect, and that's the knowledge of having, like, we're getting these triumphs, right? And we're getting these collections and things like that. We're getting these record books. It'd be nice to know where that, yes, it might drop randomly, right? And that's cool. You get to throw up on Twitter, hey, look, I got it. Look, my RNG's awesome. But then there's also to be something that you guided work towards, that that at a certain point, if you've done this activity a certain amount of time, you're going to get it. Even if your
I think
RNG
there's room
sucks.
for both in the game.
That's what I'm saying.
For both of those.
Yeah.
But I think separate. There's some things that I think should just be a slog to get through. And like only the people who only the EKs of the world are even going to get near these things.
Yeah.
I think there's room in this game for those types of things.
Yeah.
And
I,
like Watts said, not everybody's going to get everything, but everybody's going to get most of the stuff.
and honestly,
But
you highlighted the fact that the catalysts are not required to go raid. They're not required to do end game content. They're minor changes to these weapons. Some of them are a little more than minor, but they're still the same weapon that you easily got from Xur from buying it or wherever it dropped, and then it makes it a little bit better with the grind. And that makes sense to me. That seems like a reward that you can chase after.
I really like the triumphs, to be honest with you. I like the triumph books. I like the concept of having a goal in mind and work for it. And I'm not saying, Briar, hear me out. I'm not telling them to make it easier to get. Like, it should still be a slog, in your word. It should still be a grind to get there. But there is activities that direct you towards that, and that at the completion of that activity, that if you don't get it randomly through RNG, that you've earned it at that point. So someone like myself, who they gets on, and I can track what I can play for the week, and I know I have to do this activity that requires people to play with. That's fine if I know that on Wednesday I'm going to go do that activity, and I need to do 3 of them, and I can coordinate with my friends to be online and play with me, and I can make plans. So I guess I get people that get to play a lot, and they should get rewards because they play all the time. I'm not. But if what I'm hoping for,
it's not. I'm not asking to be rewarded because I play all the time. I'm asking for rewards after I have played a long time, so that it incentivizes me to continue to play. In July, in August. As opposed to playing for 3 weeks and having everything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have everything after 3 weeks of Warmind. Like it should be able to last for a few.
Yeah, I guess you guys aren't hearing me, but that's fine.
I am hearing you. I just don't agree, and it's not that I don't agree.
Well, what am I saying then, Briar?
What you're hoping for is a limit to the grind, right? Is like, let's say the grind is for the Polaris Lance, or no, that's a bad example. Let's say the grind is for a catalyst for the Sunshot. Let me have a limit. And right now there is a limit for the Sunshot. If you grind to faction level 50, there is a limit. But there isn't for... give me another catalyst. I just can't think of one.
Any of them from the Heroic, right?
Yeah, any of them from the Heroic. Those are just out there hanging out for people who put a ton of time into Heroic Strikes. And I think it's okay to have those, right? These aren't necessary things. You already have the weapon. This is just a small boost to the stats of the weapon.
And I'm saying that it's fine. Nobody's saying that level 50 on Future War Cult is an easy thing to attain, is it?
No.
You guys got it this round, I'm not going to get it for another 3 factions.
I still haven't got it yet.
That's fine. But at least I know at least I know I can get there.
Right.
So I'm just saying that as a player that needs to plan their life.
I understand, but not everything in the game needs to be designed for you. There should be stuff designed for me too.
Briar, put that away.
That's what I'm saying, though, Pope, because that's what you're asking for. You're asking for everything, or you're asking for an end to the grind for every item, right? Like, there's definitely a place where you'll get that item. If you work hard enough, you'll get that item. And I'm saying some stuff is designed like that for people who have less time. And then there's other stuff that's designed that you have to just kind of continually grind for. And maybe you'll get lucky and get it right away, but maybe you're just going to have to put in 20 hours into one activity to get it. Some stuff is going to get designed for the casual players, and some stuff is going to get designed for the real hardcore players that have a ton of time to put in. And that's okay. It's okay to have both of those things. And I think they've got it designed just right now, because you get the exotic. Everybody gets the exotic. You just got to put a little bit of time into the game. The Catalyst, which is just a little bit better, you got to put a ton of time in.
Yeah, like yesterday, one of my friends, I ran him through a Prestige Nightfall, and then I got off, and I was watching on stream, and he got the Wrist Runner Catalyst on his very first Nightfall, which took me 161 to get. He didn't even know he had it. The reason, RNG is still going to be there. It's going to be weird for you to try to time a way to get the Catalyst or grind for it if it's just relies on RNG, which is what I'm saying. So you still have a chance of getting it. It's just that, I wanted to get it faster, so I kept playing over and over and over, and I kept forcing the game to for chances to get it. But if you were playing it casually, more likely you might get it. Same thing in D1 when people were going for Gallahorns and stuff like that. You didn't have a chance of getting it. It was just RNG. So there's no way to push that factor and make it, all right, cool, I'm going to get in here, and I know that I'm going to get it after 40 or 50. Because RNG is still another factor. I think
that there's definitely end game activities that have that should be, make a player look cool. Let's not. We've talked about this before. You got an ornament that in trials that makes you look badass, and you've earned that. And if I never went flawless in trials, I shouldn't get that ornament. You're absolutely right. But if there's content that makes you be able to play the game better, no, I don't think that should be behind some, unattainable for the average player. I think that
How do you feel about the Redrick's Claymore?
Look, there is activities that if you play long enough, there are examples of that in the game, Briar. But I'm talking about the catalysts of the exotic bulk of the catalysts are there should be some way, just like the Sunshot, just like the Graviton Lance, of attaining it. Some knowledge of where you go so you can plan your life and try to get your friends together to do some event. It's a nod to the casual player. I understand how we've all been asking for Destiny to be a grind, right? But but we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? We got to make it fair for everybody. And we're really talking about two different parts of the community here, and they're both vocal.
Totally.
They're both vocal. As a matter of fact, actually, the casual player is less vocal because they don't engage in these conversations the way that our audience does. So I don't know.
I feel like they're pretty vocal about Escalation Protocol.
Excuse me?
I feel like they're pretty vocal about Escalation Protocol.
Right, but all I'm saying is that, and I keep reiterating myself, but here, having a finish line that is still out there, that still is a grind, but knowledge of it, and being able to that respects players that have to plan their lives.
I think for the catalysts, hold on, let me get this point across. I think for the catalysts, those should be reserved for the people who are going to take the time and grind, like EK did. The casual approach is that you have Xur and you have had very easy drop rates for the exotics to get into your inventory. I think that is the approach, and I think D2 set up a really great platform for people to get in the game and feel like they can raid and be powerful with it without having to spend insane amount of time trying to get the Gallahorn to drop, for instance. But the catalysts, they are not going to suddenly make you raid ready. Like it's a very long tail chase for people who've already invested a lot of time in the game to have that extra something to chase after. And I think RNG is the way to go with it. Honestly, when it comes to Catalyst, seriously. I mean, maybe it could be tuned down a little bit. So it's not like, so it doesn't take you 150 prestige strikes to actually get the first one. That could be turned down a little bit, but I don't want it to be like, hey, if you do 50, you're guaranteed. And then you do another 50, you're guaranteed. And then you do another 50, you're guaranteed. I don't think it should be set up that way. I think it's exciting when something's RNG. And if it's not something that's going to help you, if it's not going to be the difference between beating Callus or not beating Callus, then it's okay. It's okay that that Catalyst.
Once you put a limit on it, you limit you limit how much grind there is, right? Like all of a sudden there's no. All of a sudden, the real hardcore players. When I say hardcore, what I mean is the players who have a lot of time to invest in the game are going to get all the shit right away, right? And then they don't have anything to grind after.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
the problem
why
and that's the argument that we had against the way that D2 was set up.
Right.
Right. We got everything right away. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And I think that it's important for me to clarify. Do you guys remember the triumphs?
Yeah.
Okay, they were a series of activities over time,
right,
that allowed you to obtain it, right? So if you're going to say that, the reason why 50 is an example is for Future War Cult because it's a limited time faction rally, right?
Right.
I'm asking for these grinds to be more creative and less RNG.
I'm okay with that for 90%, 99% of the loot in the game.
So am I.
But I want some stuff for the long tail chase.
I completely
and I think Catalysts
agree.
are perfect for that.
But I don't think we're at that 90%.
Really?
No.
Well, 50% of the loot in the game is behind Eververse. We've got,
hey man, look.
So we've got that half covered, and we've already got at least 49% of the gear in the game, easily. I think there's very little gear in the game that's a real long tail. There's basically the Escalation Protocol gear and the Catalyst. Those are the two things that are long tail grinds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're speaking to a very, vocal, very committed population that is going to agree with you 100%. And I see where you're.
That's not true.
Yeah, you are. And for the most part, I agree with you. There should be things that are not attainable, but there is a very important point that we discussed as when we were trying to fix Destiny and bring the grind back, is that we could not abandon the casual player. Right?
I don't see them as being abandoned, though. I mean,
I'm just saying that
every exotic in the game is pretty easy to get, and if you're having trouble getting it, there's 3 coins in Xur to help you.
We're looking at
all the weapons in the game are very easy to get.
We're looking at September and how these things are reminiscent of what September might look like. So my concern is that
I'm hoping they lean into it more, Pope. I'll be honest with you. I really am. I'm hoping they lean into more grind. I'm hoping the raid gets more grindy. I'm hoping raid weapons and raid armor get more grindy. I'm hoping that they lean into it more. For high-end activities, the end game content, I like that.
Honestly,
that gear
guys,
to be tough to get.
We need to move on. Next question.
That's a good question. It is a good question, though. It's a good conversation, Pope.
Yeah, I agree. But I think we're just to finish my point is that I don't think what EK is talking about. I'm not ready to go. I understand that we need to move on. But I don't think what EK is saying with his strike completion rate is where we're there yet.
But he did it in a couple of weeks. You got all summer to do it.
Yeah. And it's going to go into Forsaken.
I'm actually totally fine with 2 years after Destiny comes out that I don't have everything, and maybe I go into a strike and it drops and I'm like, oh, hey, it's the Catalyst. I'm okay with that because, like you said, Tefty, none of these things are making it to where you can do the raid or you can win trials. None of them are a easy mode button to make content easier for yourself. So.
Except for the sunshot. So hopefully everybody pledge Future War Cult.
I got to tell you guys, we are killing it. We are killing it with the quick questions here. We're really doing a great job.
It's looking really good.
It's going great.
As usual, I'll say. As usual. Moby asks, if given the opportunity to choose any person to voice act dialogue pieces for your guardian,
My guardian.
who would you choose and why? I'll give you guys a second to think about it.
Oh my God.
I saw obviously this one already. I'm going to go with Dave Samuels. That guy is the voice of my guardian.
Okay.
Is it just random sound effects like pew, pew? That's just your guardian?
Whatever Dave Samuel wants to put on tape, that could be on my guardian.
Oh man, I probably would choose Samuel Jackson, but that's just me.
A good one. Definitely.
I can see some of his lines right now.
I really don't know.
Man, I don't know. I guess to me, I would just like my guardian to have a voice.
Just a voice.
And I know the reason why Bungie says they don't, but I disagree with it. I think we should have a voice.
I think so. It's a little
And that
awkward when
voice
you
should
look
be
at your
Dave
ghost
Samuels.
and
He already works at Bungie. Just put him in the booth.
well, I guess I could go with Beyonce for the only reason because the single ladies dance is in the game,
That'd be
and we
my
could have
second
a
choice.
full Beyonce experience.
That's who I was going to choose before I chose Dave Samuels.
For your guardian, for your bearded giant titan.
My huntress, I think, has a lot of resemblance. I mean, she's blue. It's a little different. And a robot. But I feel like
Close
her
enough.
presence is much like Beyonce's.
And
And the Sega Ladies Dance.
Yes, Sega Ladies dance.
I think I'll have John C. Reilly from Talladega Nights in there. That'd be great.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
one.
Shake it bake.
Yep. Exactly. Nice little comic relief during some serious moments when the ghost is telling us that bad things are happening.
Yeah, I could just picture you running around with a tractor cannon, just shake and bake.
Gotta go fast.
Ferdinand Zoe says, a question for all. John Wick, James Bond, Rambo, Jason Bourne, Frank Castle. That's the Punisher for anybody who's unaware. You can pick one of these people to be in your fire team in a Crucible match against 6 players. Who's it going to be?
Damn.
John Wick, James Bond, Rambo, Jason Bourne, Frank Castle. The Punisher.
Rambo goes with my playstyle. We can just run around together. Yeah, I think, I'll go Rambo. Rambo fits my playstyle.
John Wick would be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You might end up stealing too many kills, though.
Yeah, you might end up taking them.
Yeah.
Can't have it making you look like
Rambo's
a casual.
just mows folk down, though.
True.
I mean, like,
Yeah, but he might be out in the open.
he's
for
like a
too long.
lawnmower mowing the grass. That's how many people he's killing.
Here's an unpopular position.
Maybe a Punisher. I would go with Punisher.
John Wick is actually, he's not cool. He's a bad action hero.
Bad action.
I'm telling you right now. Watch every movie he plays in. He does a double tap to the chest with a pistol, a slide action, double tap head. Slide, double tap, head. I mean, get some creativity in your kills, all right? All the guy does is run around with a pistol and shoot people. I mean, let's get some creativity here. Does anybody else find the John Wick movies boring? I do. I think he's horrible.
Nope.
I think that anything Keanu Reeves puts his name on is absolute trash.
You take that back.
Wait. What about the Matrix?
Whoa.
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 I'm just trying to make the comment section all about me, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be in there. How could you say that about John Wick over and over again?
Oh my God, your wife died. Wah. Your dog died. Wah. So I'm gonna go destroy everybody with 2 bullets to the chest and 1 to the head. Come on, get creative. Let's pull out a shotgun. Let's look. Like, where's the chainsaw at? Come on.
I'm sad for you right now.
It's all right.
I got to go with John Wick, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if he'd have the highest kill count out of anybody on that list, but he'd definitely be the most entertaining watching it happen. Man had style while he was killing.
What does he do?
He kills people.
He kills the man.
Really cool.
How?
It's like karate with guns. It's awesome.
Boring.
I feel like maybe you watched a different movie or something.
It's the same damn thing from every scene. And how does he not get shot?
Did you watch like a movie called like John Dick? And there's a little bit of shooting.
Give me some Bourne or something. Give me somebody that has like some, martial arts skills, that gets creative, that kills somebody with a pencil. Come on.
Baked Lasagna says, did everybody answer that one? I
think so.
Okay. Baked Lasagna says, if everyone at the tower retired and they were hiring new employees, which position would you apply for?
What is it again?
If everybody at the tower retired and they were hiring new employees, which position would you apply for?
Man, that's easy. I'd be the sweeper bot. He doesn't even sweep.
True.
And he's in with Callus?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, easy.
Dude, the clear answer here is Tess Everest. She is
Oh, my.
so much fucking money. I am going to
Be
need
rich.
buckets.
But wouldn't she then have a
true.
conflicting moral situation where you can choose to give away those items? What if you were like, you know what? I'm Tess Everest. I could go sprinkle this loot around the world instead of selling it.
I could do that.
Maybe you
or
could
I
save
buy a yacht.
Destiny, Bray.
Space yacht.
Don't you think I would look good on a boat? I would feel good on a
You
boat.
want your own Leviathan, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I don't know who it would be.
Is the ramen shop still there? I want to work there. Ooh. I can just get free food.
I'm going to be the postmaster and
Spicy
throw
ramen
everybody's
shop.
stuff out.
Throw it all away.
Well, thank you for that service.
Yeah. you're welcome.
That's actually great. Can you throw out
Yeah.
all my shaders that are
Just
in there that
all
I'm
of them,
trying
delete
to
them.
Can I
delete?
put stuff from my inventory back into the postmaster?
I'll get like complaints about people being like, where's my stuff? And be like, throw it right out. Don't even care.
I'll be the guy that announces when you arrive that your postmaster is full and that you've lost all your stuff. Just as they arrive, I'll be like, hello and welcome. Your postmaster is full. You've lost all your stuff. Thank you.
I like
I've
it.
had some problems with the postmaster recently.
Your packages were lost in transit.
Zach Alexander says, what exotic weapon would you name your junk after?
Your what?
Sunshot.
Oh, my God.
Is it not the tufticle? Tufty?
Oh.
Your junk?
Wait, no. I thought, isn't it which exotic weapon in game?
Right?
What's your exotic weapon?
I'm just saying, if you could have a dual wielding tufticles, that would be.
I'd probably go with that,
pretty
yes.
sweet.
Yeah.
No,
That's like
it's got to be a
dual-wielding
weapon. It's
sunshots.
got to be an exotic weapon in the game.
Yeah, the sunshot.
Oh my god.
Everything explodes.
I'm gonna.
or maybe a war cliff as well. I don't know.
I feel like all the best names are legendary, like Three Little Words.
Sweet
and
Business is pretty good.
Comedian and
The comedian.
Last Word, maybe. Fighting Lion.
Fighting lion.
Lion. Ooh.
Oh,
There you
sleeper
go.
simulant is good.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good.
That is good.
That is
Merciless. Sweet business. Sweet business would be a
That's
nice one.
intimidating.
I think Sweet Business is pretty good.
good. Yeah,
I think
it's
there's
pretty
a
good.
lot of good names.
Sweet Business is real good.
What if Black Hammer comes back in?
The Black Hammer.
It shoots a
Just
white
the
ale.
truth. Just
The
the
truth.
Just the truth. That's great.
Yo, we forgot about the tractor cannon. All right.
That's not.
Pretty good too, yeah.
K Brash says Dave Samuel, Bungie's VFX artist, seems to make every Destiny vid doc better with his animated personality and sound effects. How come Briar Rabbit won't admit he has a brother that works at Bungie? He's not my brother, but he is my spirit animal. That dude is my favorite person right now.
He's just the best. Every time he's there, I'm like, oh, yay. Yeah, he's great.
How do you bring Sam says, how do you bring up your significant other or family members that they have been putting the toilet paper on wrong? What do you do if they won't change their ways?
There's disowning.
Public shaming?
Public
I feel like
shaming,
it's a good
yeah.
way to go.
Public shaming. Twitter, take a picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Tag her and her family.
Just buy him wet wipes and be a jerk. there. I don't know.
Wow.
Just okay. You have to take the toilet roll holder off the wall.
Yeah.
So the only option you have is just to like put it on top of the toilet.
Oh, just change the whole paradigm.
Just change it all. You don't have the option anymore.
I like it. The Mohegan 9 says, "Do you feel older or younger than you actually are?"
I feel like I'm about 13, so that's younger. By the way.
Depends.
I feel
Depends on
younger
the day.
most of the time, except when I'm talking to my kids and I have to discipline them.
But you have babies, yeah, that's different.
It's like I feel super old when I have to discipline kids. It sucks. It's like the worst thing to do in the whole wide world.
Dude, just yell at them and say, "You're making me feel old." Okay.
It's your fault. Look at these
your
wrinkles.
fault.
Look at this gray hair.
I kind of honestly, I've always felt older in my age, like my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a 6-year-old man?
Just I don't know.
40?
There's no actual
55?
age to put on it. Just old. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I'm too old to play with these toys.
You were literally a hipster from the day you were born.
I think
You're just
so.
like, Mom, too old. I'm too old for these army men.
Yeah, I'd be like, these Duplo
Who do you think I
blocks.
am?
I mean, I'm not that young.
Who do you think you are? What gives you the right, Mom?
I am nearly 6.5.
All right, EK, I'm going to guess on your age. I think you're 25.
Nope.
Anybody
This
else
is-
want to take a stab at this?
No, this is the most dangerous game.
I mean, I don't think do guys even care?
Yeah. I'd
Nah,
say
really?
so.
nah. I don't really care.
I don't think I've ever really cared.
Carceri says, plain and simple, do dragons fart fire?
Wouldn't it depend on the breed?
A dragon? Yeah.
The answer's no.
I'm gonna say no, because we
There's
don't
different
burp
breeds of dragons?
poop.
Of course. Have you not seen how
I'm gonna
I
say no.
trained my dragon or whatever the hell it's called?
I did see that.
I'm saying no.
There was a lot of dragons in there. Have you not played
There
Dark
were.
Souls?
I did.
Do you not remember
Well-
the vagina dragon?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of dragons. I think at some point there could be a dragon that farts fire. Yes.
I've never seen a dragon fart fire,
Of course
Nope,
not. That's
never seen
personal.
Yeah.
but
Have you seen a dragon take a dump?
no.
Exactly.
Maybe they don't.
No.
It's got to go somewhere.
Does their shit come out fire like if they ate buffalo wings the night before?
Molten.
Maybe that's where they get their
Molten.
fire from.
Like a
Lava.
mini
Maybe
volcano.
I'm a dragon.
They build up their methane. And then that's where they get their fire from. The methane, they don't poop at all. The self-contained methane fuel.
Blandy McBlanderson says, I was asked to clarify my question from last week about using gross porta potty versus Ubering home.
Yes.
The missing information is that you are 20 minutes from home. The cost is $30 each way. So, do you A, use a porta potty at the event, or B, Uber home, and do you make your driver wait for you?
Okay, so it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Is there a line
20,
at the
20
porta
minutes,
20
30
minutes.
miles. $30.
$30.
I still think this comes back to you Google where the closest Starbucks is and you go to that place instead. Because there's got to be a Starbucks.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and you make the Uber driver wait for you.
We need clarification on this question. Is there a Starbucks nearby?
Can you come back next week and
He needs to
clarify if
come
we
back
can
next
Google
week.
Starbucks?
We need to know more.
Yeah, is there a Starbucks close by? Or is this like Burning Man or
Is there,
something?
yeah, could we like stop halfway and like use a McDonald's bathroom or a Starbucks bathroom?
Yeah.
Also, if you're going somewhere where, going to the bathroom might be an issue, take some Imodium. Get that stuff locked up inside of you. Don't get into this situation to begin with.
Careful. This is
You
how
gotta take
dragons fart
control of
fire.
your situation.
I think we're sending it back to him for more clarification. Where is this festival?
Where's the festival? And is there any place to poop between here and home?
Yeah.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. If I go home, I'm probably gonna stay home.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
You could
there's
just
a
say,
I was
"Oh,
gonna be like,
High
gonna go to
probability.
bed.
so Uber,
Boy,
thanks,
that
bye-bye.
poop really
You
took
stay
it out
home.
of me.
Peace out.
Thanks. I want to go play games, eat food.
All right, that's it. Plan to get back to us next week. We'll try again.
We'll try and answer it. We can't make any promises.
Is that the podcast?
That's it.
Oh my God, we nailed it.
3 hours long today.
And this is where I start to sign off, right? Is that how it works every week?
I think so.
I think so.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
That is how it works every week. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been DCP number 88. Been a fun ride. 88. 80 freaking 8.
Wow. That's a lot.
You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter to discuss all things of varieties of dragons and stuff and where they might defecate said dragon stuff. And I stream on twitch.tv/TeftyTeft, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Except for Thursdays, because we do the podcast. And I have a YouTube channel, too. Yep.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming on every weekday afternoon. Just like a Briar Rabbit on Twitch. You can talk to me on Twitter at @TheBriarRabbit. And I've been pretty damn consistent with YouTube videos lately. Not gonna lie, not to toot my own horn.
Nice.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
That's it.
I was expecting more after the horn toot. I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts. I play games. I talk about stuff. I post cat pictures as well.
EK.
Okay. I'm Ekuegan. You can find me on Twitch by Ekuegan, on Twitter by Tico Teekster. Someone has my name somehow, but never uses it. One day I'll
It's
get that
annoying.
name.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't know. But I stream basically every day. I start pretty early and around like 9 p.m. Pacific. So.
Cool. And if you ever want to get a chance to jump in to do an Escalation protocol, make sure to jump into his streams. He pulls people in. It's a great environment. You get to learn all the tips and tricks, and it's fun how you engage with your audience, and you it's just a really fun place to relax. I find myself putting up your stream when I'm playing and listening to it. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and spending some time with us. I know you could be streaming right now and hanging out with your audience, but we appreciate it very much.
Thank you for the invite.
This has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. Make sure to follow the podcast at Destiny or at DCP_live. Sorry. Next week we have Professor Broman on the podcast. He's going to be going over some of the things that we are going to be seeing at GuardianCon. We have some exciting news of Bungie going there and being able to play some content. We also have some things to talk about how we are going to engage in GuardianCon, and you'll hear more of those announcements next week. Remember,
I can't wait.
if you're watching.
I can't wait to find out.
I can't wait to find out what I'm doing at GuardianCon. Yeah.
If you're listening to this now on YouTube, make sure to put in the comments section below, and it's POPEBEAR is a, and then because I'm not going to read it. So go ahead and put it down there, and make sure to have fun doing that. If you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to rate it. We really appreciate you. It jumps us up. It gets us exposure. We really appreciate it. And we're going to show a end credits list of all the patrons that help make this possible. You guys are phenomenal. Your engagement on our DCP Discord, it's $2 to start your to jump in there and help support us each month. And those guys make it possible for us to do our other podcast, which is DCP Side Quests, that we are having a blast doing, and those are well received. You get stuff a little early that as being part of the patron, and you get also awesome perks like getting a chance to be in the pre-show Discord chat. You get exclusive AMAs, and there's some other really cool perks. So make sure to check us out on Patreon. And thank you very much for listening. You guys have a great week.
Yeah, thank you guys. We will see you next week. After the credits roll, we will do sub readouts for the live stream. So see you in a bit. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.